Guys, good to see you all
Guys,
again.
today we are going to be building the Tinder clone. This app is going to be amazing. Sunny, what are your thoughts right now about this?
I'm excited, dude. I mean, this is a bit of a challenge getting this one working. It's pretty cool because we're gonna get to see how you guys can go ahead and build that swiping functionality that is so big in Tinder and loads of other apps actually use. So I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm excited. I think kind of we're going to be getting started into it in just a little bit. But guys, take a look at this whole thing. So we're just going to demo the app for you guys right now. So you guys will be able to swipe left or swipe right, right? And then, of course, let me show you over here. Let me move my screen. Swipe right. There we go. And if
Yep.
I actually click right over here at the top, I can go into chat so you guys can see this. Maribon, look at this. Ellen is hitting Sunny up. All right, so you can go right here, and then you can actually send. You see it says you matched with Ellen on 10/8/20. And what else should be demoing here, Sunny?
So we are also going to be showing, so if we go back,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so you see how we can pretty much go back and forth between different screens, guys. So
Yeah.
that's actually using something called React Router to do that. So we're going to be showing you guys how you can build that and how you can have like flow through an app. So you can have different screens working on a single React app, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also, guys, these cards that you see that Kazi's swiping through right now, they're not hard coded. They're being pulled from a Firebase database. And you can also notice that if you see the URL right there, that's actually a Firebase hosted URL, which means that we deployed this app. So we're going to show you how to use the Firebase database in order to sort of get these cards up and rendering on the screen. And then we're going to show you how to deploy it and get it live so that you can host it on your portfolio.
Yep. So guys, this is going to be pretty freaking exciting. This build is going to be awesome. I hope that you guys are excited about this build. If you aren't, drop it in chat if you're watching this later. Awesome. I hope that you're still excited. You can just drop it in the comments below. With that said,
That's it.
Sunny, what should we do? Should we just jump straight into the build?
I mean, let's see, guys. Are you guys pumped for this? If you are, let's just jump straight in. Smash the
Guys,
thumbs up. We'll get straight into it.
that is actually huge. If you want to do us a favor and make sure that this just goes out to everybody, because right now, guys, we have 489 people watching, so that's already massive. But if you want to help us make sure it goes out to just everybody, what can they do, Sunny?
They can smash the thumbs up button, guys. And also, if you do find it, like if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and post a story. So grab your phones, post a story on your social media, so Instagram, and you can get me and Kazi's tag right here at the bottom. And go ahead and shoot some stories because that actually allows us guys to start up a conversation with you guys. If you guys enjoy it, it tells us pretty much that you guys are watching. We love seeing you guys repost stories on Instagram, so that would be dope if you guys can do that.
Dang, everybody's pumped. Yeah, guys, this is going to be awesome. I broke 500 people live. Awesome, guys. So,
Nice.
with that said, this is going to be the build, right? So, this is the app. Just demoing it for any of you guys, maybe who're seeing it a little bit later. And then, because of React Router, we can actually move around anywhere. So, we'll be showing you guys all of this functionality and how you can build it. With that said, let's just jump straight into it. So, what
Let's
should
do
we
it.
do, Sunny?
So first thing is, guys, you can see me and Kazi are actually sharing a terminal because we're using a VS Code Live Share. So first step is let's actually go ahead and I'm not sure. Can I actually access your terminal right now? So let's
Probably
go ahead and
not right
share a
now.
terminal.
Right there.
Yeah. Nice. So let me go ahead and find the terminal. There we go. I think you need to share it in the live share settings.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got it. We have got it. Yeah, nice. I need to get.
I'll
I
make
need
it.
to,
Yep. There we go.
there we
Now
go.
it's you can read and write.
So there you go. So now there we go. So the first step that you guys want to do, guys, is so yeah, there we go. That is the right one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
CLS. If I type in yo, can you see that? Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, guys, the first tool that we're going to use is something called Create React App. So this is something that Facebook built, and we've used it in all of our builds so far. And all you need to do is go ahead and type npx create create React app, and then the name of your app. So in this case, let's go ahead and call it the Tinder clone, right? And what that's going to do is that's actually going to go and launch that tool and then build a project, a starter project called Tinder clone, right? And remember, try not to have spaces there. Just use a dash in between. So this will actually go ahead, set every single thing up that we need in order to get React starter project up and running. So with that said, I think what we can do at this point is let's go and head over to Firebase
Yeah.
and get that set up so everything's ready on that front by the time this is we get this back.
Yep. And guys, we're not going to be posting the link to the app. We're going to be hosting a GitHub repo and put it there because YouTube took down our video, our Amazon video actually, and the other day because they were thinking that they just didn't like that we were sending people to an Amazon clone.
Yeah.
And so even though we weren't doing anything bad, but they were like, hey, you guys are sending people to Amazon clone. So that kind of threw us off a lot, you know. That was like scary. It's like, oh my God, this video has 60,000 views and they just took it down. And so but that video is now back up. So we're not going to be dropping the link to the clone, but we'll drop a GitHub repo later, and then you guys can just click the live link, or you can just try to read the link from the URL and go to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So guys, what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go ahead and set up Firebase. So to get Firebase up and running, all you need is a Google account. So it's good news. It's really easy to get that up and going. So once you're at this screen, what you want to do is go ahead and click Add Project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then let's type in Tinder-clone. And then it's just a simple case of clicking continue. You can enable Google Analytics. There we go. Create project. There we go. And guys, what this is doing now is you're setting up so Firebase is essentially just a suite of tools by Google, allows you to do authentication, allows you to manage all your data there, allows you to deploy your website, and it allows you to do a bunch of other cool stuff. And we're going to show you a bunch of that today. So let's go ahead and see if the app's finished installing. So it's almost done. But while that's still installing, what we can do is just click continue.
Yep.
And what we need to do now is we need to get a magic sort of config file. So on the top left, we'll see something where it says project overview and a little cog. Let's click that cog.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then project settings. And let's go down to the bottom. And let's go ahead and, that web app one, that's it. And let's type in a Tinder clone. I'm not sure why they ask you for two names here, but
oh, whoops! I messed
that's all right. That's right. You can do it. Yeah.
That's fine without even checking that box.
Yeah. We can go because afterwards, what we can go ahead and do is we can go to the Firebase hosting tab, and it should just work from there.
Okay, I think I went too fast. So let's. Where's the Tinder? So right here, Tinder clone.
Yep.
And then I think this is the app, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
If we go down to the bottom, oh, there we go. So you see the config? Yeah, so we just needed that, guys. So what you want to do at this point is just copy it and keep it in like a separate notes or something else, but you just want to have that on the side so we can use that later on. Yo, Amanath is in the house. What's going on, dude?
Nice. He's like, how are y'all doing, Kazi and Sunny? Awesome, Amanath.
Doing all good, bro. Nice. Okay, so now we have the config file. And guys, what that's going to allow you to do is once we actually get the app up and running, that's going to be the magic piece that connects our app to our Firebase sort of backend. Okay, so with that said, now we have the app up and running. So perfect. So it will basically, at the end of it, it'll say happy hacking and it'll tell you some instructions. So in this case, make sure you do this step, guys, because if we've sometimes accidentally forgot this. So what we need to do is do cd Tinder clone.
Yeah,
right?
Funny.
Yeah. So that way you actually go inside the file, inside the folder. So make sure you're in here. So when you do ls,
I am Bevet says, awesome. He goes, I should spend more than $200 to learn this online, but it's free here.
Oh, amazing.
Damn.
I feel like I was chatting to my brother. Oh, that's amazing. I love stuff like that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
So once you're in the Tinder clone folder, guys, it's very simple to get started. All you need to do is run npm start. And npm start is basically just going to start up the React app. It's going to get everything up and running and working for you. And it will launch it on localhost 3000. And you should get this perfect little React spinning icon, which is really nice. And everything works once we get to that point. Okay. Perfect. There
I
we go.
love that spinner, man. I hate when you remove it, but it's okay.
I know. I know. It's yeah, so guys, if you get to this page, well done. Like you've set up your first React project, so that's a really good step. And the next thing we like to do is what, Kazi?
We're gonna remove these 3 files that I put a little X over, and it's gonna be the test and the logo file.
Yep,
All
exactly
right.
that. So the
So
reason why we do that, guys, is we don't need the test files for now. When you sort of get a bit more advanced into sort of React development, you can use those, but at this point, we don't really need those. Then you want to go ahead and clean up the app.js file. So you want
what
to get rid
happened
of
to?
the.
Where's my Vim? Maybe I don't have Vim on here, huh?
Oh, is it not got Vim?
No, I don't think I have my Vim on here, but it's all good. Okay, cool. We're gonna just do that. Put a little
Yep.
H1 here and say, let's build the Tinder clone app.
Dope. Nice.
Boom, right there. Remove this
Okay.
guy. Save and refresh. And that's what you guys should have.
Nice.
So make sure, guys, remove that logo at the top, because otherwise you're gonna get a compilation error because we're not using the logo anymore. We deleted it.
Exactly. So once you get to this point, that's a very good place to be. There's one more step involved in the cleanup process, which is oh nice, we have someone watching
Yeah,
from
watching
Beijing.
from Beijing. Yeah, I was pumped. I was like, damn.
That's dope, man. That's nice.
Damn, we're up to 677 people now, guys. That is awesome. Thank you
Hey.
guys so much for giving all that love. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, guys.
And smash that like button. Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
smash it right now. Dope. So the next step, guys, is you want to go into your app.css and you want to go ahead and basically just, so let's open up the app.css.
Okay.
So app.css, and basically you just want to highlight everything and smash the delete button to just get rid of them.
Smash the delete button.
That's the new one. Smash the delete button for the YouTube background. Nice.
Yeah. Clever
So-
Coder says, you guys are awesome. I'm going to enroll in PWJ soon. I got all your projects on my portfolio now. Keep it up, guys. That is awesome,
Yo.
man. Whether you join PWJ or not, our #1 mission is to make as many developers on the planet as possible. We have a bigger
Exactly.
mission now.
Exactly. That's exactly what we want to do, guys. We want to like get developers just learning this stuff, having fun with this stuff. Like, and it's just a superpower once you start using it. Once you know React, you can just start building anything. It's really, really fun. Like, it is awesome.
Yeah.
Super Shah says, I start loving coding because of these new awesome people. It makes coding interesting and simple. That's dope.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, let's keep on rolling.
So index.css is the next place, guys. So we need to go over to index.css.
Let's go to index.
Um,
And I'll also follow you. So I'll go here
Yep.
and hit follow. Boom. There we go.
Nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a magic rule here, guys. We're going to say for everything, apply a margin of 0. And the reason
Hey,
why we do
Ola
this-
Kunli is here, our boy.
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, and he's like, by the way, nice photo. You didn't have this photo before. Now it looks clean. And he goes, it's definitely, clever programmers definitely disrupting online learning, and it's mind-blowing. I guess YouTube already noticed this.
Hey, you just joined the course. That's so dope.
Whoa, Sharia says, I'm in a coding bootcamp, but I get so much value from your tutorials. Yo, this is awesome. I'm
Nice.
sorry, guys. We want to keep coding, but these messages are so awesome. We want to highlight them.
Yeah, it gets us pumped, guys. I love seeing this stuff. Some people saying Sunny and Kazi is my favorite combo. Oh, shit, nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Awesome.
Nice.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
So this is the magic line that you're going to need to do. And basically, the reason why we do this, guys, is because whenever you're doing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, like just something to remember is that a lot of browsers have this annoying habit of giving like an invisible margin, right?
Yeah.
So if you notice, if I get rid of that rule, look what
Where's
happens.
this invisible
if I,
margin?
Yeah. So if I get rid of it, the
Boom.
browsers automatically apply that top margin, and they do that to everything. So you're gonna start seeing like, hang on, I haven't put a margin here, but somehow the browser's gonna. So this basically just overrides that at the root, and it says, right, don't do that. Let's just ignore that and just kind of have our own rule set. So once that's done, you can go ahead and close index.css, and then we can pretty much head over back to app.js, and then we have a good starting point.
Yep.
So that's really nice. Yep. So the next step is essentially, I like to sort of draft out the app, right? So if we go ahead and open up the app, the finished app, so let's open up our build.
Yep.
Yep. So in here, guys, we can see three main areas, right? We can see there's a header. So in the code, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draft it out as a comment. So I'm going to say we have a header, right? We have we have the cards, so the Tinder cards, which is huge,
By the way,
right?
for anybody who doesn't know what a Tinder app is, because I see some people asking that, it's a dating app. So if you're looking
Yep.
to match up with somebody or a partner, whatever, it helps you match up and basically just swipe left and right till you find matches with each other. And if somebody swipes right on you and you swipe right on them, then you can start messaging them. So just a dating app. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. So we have the header, then we have the Tinder cards. So that's the area where you swipe left, you swipe right, depending on who's sort of coming onto your account. And then we essentially have the buttons at the bottom. So buttons below Tinder cards. So buttons below Tinder cards. And then we have the other screens,
Before we
right? So
keep
we have,
going, so when you say header, what are you referring
yep.
to? Is that this
So that
part right there that I'm highlighting, like where the Tinder logo sits and the chat and that?
exactly that, yeah. So that would be what we're referring to as the header component, guys. Because in
Okay.
React, what we do is we build everything in components.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one that we're going to build is that header component, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So first thing is that header. Got it. Then the Tinder cards is where that big image is with that guy's name on it. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, cool. Got
Yeah,
it. And then so that's this guy right here, guys. So just to kind of visually draw it out, this is what we're talking about. And then the button below the cards are all these like icons at the bottom.
exactly.
Got it.
Exactly
Okay.
that.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's going to be the first thing, right? And then we're also going to have, so like just underneath what I'm going to write is we're also going to have a chat sort of screen, right? So a chat screen, which is basically going to be the screen when you click on the top right icon.
Yeah.
So if we go ahead and click on the top right icon for the chat icon, so it's in the header, what will happen is we'll go inside the chat screen. So this screen will list out all of the different chats available or all of the people that you've matched with, right? And then when we click on that, we're going to have an individual chat screen, right?
Yep.
So individual chat screen.
Wow, I love
And
that. Karthik goes, you guys are making me guilty for not paying for this. Way to go. This is gold.
nice. I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Oh, I think you guys have a V8 brain.
Damn.
Awesome. Nice. Chat screen, individual chat screen. Okay, yeah. So the individual chat screen is when you tap into one of those and you can see sort of the
So when I
chat
click
between
into
people.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be that screen right there. So we're going to show you guys how to build all of this, right? Something to bear in mind, however, is that we do have routing, right? So before we kind of get into all of that stuff, I think let's just go ahead and start developing and let's start building that header out, and then we can
Yep.
sort of see from there how things go, right? So
Yep.
the first thing we're going to do is, in order to build this header component, let's go ahead and build a new file. So if you open up the left side, so where the files are inside of VS Code,
Yep.
and let's go ahead and create a new file, and let's call it header.js.
And since it's a component, it's going to be capitalized. Got it.
Yeah. And also, guys, just a heads up, we are actually going to be showing you how to use something called Material UI, which is a design library. And we're also showing you how to use Material UI icons today. So if anyone's excited about that, smash the thumbs up button because that is pretty cool and you guys can use that across your projects.
Yeah, that will be beautiful.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, you did a little trick there, Kazi. Nice.
Hell yeah, bro. I remember.
Oh, hey. So this is how we write our functional component, guys. Right? So a functional component is literally just a function which returns some JSX. JSX being some HTML with some JavaScript infused in it. So you inside these squiggly brackets, we can have some JavaScript, right? So you can just do anything inside of here. But what we're going to do here is basically just to get it tested and show that everything works, we'll just do a HTML. We'll say I am a header, right? We'll save that
Yeah.
file. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go open up app.js. So we're going to save this file, open up app.js. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and import it. So at the top, we say import header from header.
So just to be clear, and for the sake of repetition, from header, he's importing that component that we had.
Exactly.
Cool. And we're going to be using
So
it for that.
Exactly. So we wrote it here, and then we're pulling it in at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and then then that allows us to then go ahead and render it. So where we had our little comment here, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and write the component itself, and this, guys, will go ahead and it will basically go inside the header, and it will pretty much just pop this exact thing. So imagine like we're literally grabbing this, and we're taking it and we're pasting it there. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's a
basically
great
what's
way to
happening.
think it. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
really what's
awesome.
happening here. So then that is pretty much what we do. So now we can see it says I am a header, which is awesome, right?
Yep.
So we can see that it's visually been put on the screen. So that's really, really cool. The next step that we want to do now is kind of get it looking somewhat like the what we see in the Tinder app, right? So we can notice in our build, we had these two icons on the left and the right. Those two icons resembled one, the profile picture screen, and two, the sort of messaging app screen. So if we go ahead and open up our app, we can see the two icons that we're talking about. So we have the profile picture
Yo,
screen.
by the way, we are at 860 live viewers. Guys,
Damn.
we love your
Thank you
face for being
so
on
much,
here.
guys.
That is so amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Because, like, seriously, that hypes us up so much. Dude, this is awesome. I mean, we're doing it for you guys. So I love when all of you guys are on here and engaging and interacting and having so much positivity in the comments. I'm not missing any comments. So while Sunny's building it and I'm working with him, I'm seeing all of you guys' comments. You'll see me popping it up on the screen, okay? And pretty much nothing you're saying is being missed. So if it's a valid question, I'll bring it up later. So feel free to put it there right now. In the meantime, smash that like button. Let's keep it moving.
Exactly. And guys, we all see, I have like the comments on my screen as well. So don't ever think that we're not seeing your comments. We can read them as they come in. Yeah, so that's awesome to hear. All
Yep.
right. So we just popped out the header, which was awesome. And you see in our build, right, on the top, sorry, in the final build, on the top left and the top right, we have this profile picture icon and then this messaging sort of icon on the top right.
Right
To
there.
get those icons, we don't want to build those. We don't, it's just a headache to do all that stuff. So what we can use is something called Material UI. So let's go ahead
Nice.
and head over to materialui.com.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So if we Google Material UI, and this is going to be like one of your best friends, guys, in terms of your design libraries. So if we scroll down, it will actually go ahead and it will show you how to install this. And all we need to do is run, I think it's npm. The command is there, I think. One sec, Material UI. Let me go ahead and grab it. So it's npm install Material UI core.
Yep. Right here
So
at the bottom.
yeah, so if we can stop our build for a second, and what we can do is we can go ahead and do npm install Material UI core. There we go. And
Yep.
what that
Right.
will do is that will actually start to install everything into our project for us. But do that as your first step, guys. And then I want you to go ahead and type in. So if you go to the search bar in Material UI
Mm-hmm.
and you just type in, so I think if we maybe, oh, usually there's a search bar there.
Yeah. I think. Why isn't it? Look, I'm clicking. Is this like a fake
Oh,
material?
maybe if refresh, I think the whole thing might have not come in properly.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. Type in icons. Nice. So the first one, and yeah, what we're going to do here, guys, is you need to install Material UI Core first, and then the second step is you see where it says the installation, npm install Material UI icons. So we
Yep.
need to do that line as well. So I'm going to go ahead and run that in the terminal.
Didn't we run that just now?
No, we did Material
Core.
UI
Core. Got it.
Core, yeah.
We did core.
So Core is the all of the components, everything like that.
Sunny, you're all good, by the way.
Okay,
If I'm
yeah,
talking to
nice.
Frankie, only he will
Okay,
hear. Yep.
cool. Yeah, so literally, so that's what we're going to do, guys. So we're going to pretty much have it so that we install the Material UI icons, and that will go ahead and pull in all of the sort of icon sets. So the reason why that's so useful, guys, is there is so many different situations where you're going to have an icon that you're looking for, whether it be like a search icon or like let's look at on the right side. Can you see on Material UI?
Yep.
Right now, Carti's got a bunch of different icons there. So like they have those icons in the top right, right? If we need any of those, we can go ahead and grab them.
So when
But
you're
Material
saying
UI,
these ones, okay, these ones right here, the top.
yeah,
Got it.
so there's always a use case for like some new icons. But if you click where it says you can see the full list of these icons,
Right there.
Yep.
Okay.
And this will go ahead and give you an amazing little icon picker. So from here, I would actually go ahead and bookmark this one, guys, because this is actually going to be a really handy tool for you guys. And let's just say right now what we needed a profile, right? So let's go ahead and type in profile.
Yep.
And you can see
Boom.
like it's found all the sort of profile ones, right? So let's click person, and then it will actually give you the import line of code that you need. So what we're going to do is
Beautiful.
we're going to copy that and go over to
How do I get it in blue
header.js.
versus black? Or is it just as simple as
So
like passing?
that's, yeah, I think that's actually using something called color. I think it
Got it.
might be color, but there's a prop that you can pass in to get the different variants and sizes.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So now we're inside the header, so we
Oh,
can go
my
ahead
bad.
and
Import it,
paste
right?
that. That's it. Nice. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and say that let's just pop in the let's pop in the person icon. So right here. So if we do this now, and let's open up our app,
And I'm just going to do
we should.
npm start, so then by the time we open up our app, it's actually there.
Nice. Yeah, don't forget to do npm start, guys. Otherwise, it will say like your app's not running and it might freak you out. I would actually run npm start maybe in a separate terminal for you guys, just so that you guys have it. But we're going to run it and show you guys that step of canceling every time. So that way it gets very glued as you need to restart it. Right. So
Yep.
there we go. You can see it's got the icon on the screen, which is amazing. It's exactly what we wanted. What we can do now is actually go ahead and grab the second icon, which was a messages. So if I go ahead and type in message, I think the one that I used was the, so you need, there's a few. So if we go to Material UI,
Mm-hmm.
Material UI, yep, and we type in message in that box. So there's a few here. There's a chat bubble, which is kind of clean actually. Or there's like a forum. So whichever one we can go with here. So we've gone with the forum one.
This one, questions and answers,
Yeah.
or
So
or
questions and
form.
answers is one that we check. Either or. Yeah.
Okay, let's pick the form.
Yeah. So we got forum, and what we can do now is we can actually go ahead and import that into our code. So we can go ahead and import nice, and then we can go ahead and pop it here. So I'm going to chuck that one forum icon like that.
And just to be clear, guys, I missed this actually, but here's the person icon, and we have that added. And then here's the forum icon that we have just added. I know it's a little hard to see.
Yeah. So you can see like as I saved it, it sort of popped in there, and now we've got those two things. And then we notice how on the code, I am a header is in the middle. So you have the person icon at the top, you have the I am a header in the second, and then you have the forum icon there. So this isn't obviously the ideal layout right now. So we need to change that layout, right? We need to make that a bit more sort of as a row, as opposed to sort of by default, it's something called block, which it means it sort of stacks one on top of the other, which is going to be a sort of annoying thing that we don't want. So what we're going to do here is actually before we go ahead and do that, no, we will do that first. We'll do that first. So in order to get this working, guys, we need to first, we're going to give this a class name. So we're going to give this a class name of header. And we use something called BEM for our naming convention. So I recommend everyone goes ahead and learns this because it's a really, really handy way of naming your CSS variables and your class names. I'll leave that here. Yeah, BEM. So we're going to call this header. And then what we're going to need to do is we need to import something like this. So header.css. So we need to go ahead and create a file now called header.css. So you can see it's freaking out because there is no header.css file. So now what we need to do is create a header.css file. So I'm going to go ahead and create a header.css file. And we just should be popping into it right now.
Boom,
So
right
there we
there.
go. So we have a header.css file, and then you can see now we pretty much have the file imported here. So any bit of CSS that I write in here, we're going to now get applied in here, right? And this way you keep your code very sort of componentized, and sort of isolated in a nice way. So we have the header here. So the first step we're going to do is, you see we have these three children inside of here. So if we go ahead and do header, open close brackets, and then we say display flex. Yeah, what this will do is as soon as I hit save, notice on Kazi's screen, as soon as I hit save, it's going to put that container into a display, into a Flexbox container. It's going to change it to a Flexbox container. So as soon as I hit save, it's going to, by default, Flexbox pushes everything into a row. So as soon as I hit save, we'll see it goes into a row, which is really nice. And
Nice.
then what we can do is we can go ahead and do something like this. We can say justify content space between. And what this means is all of the children inside of it, give them space between them. So we'll have the two logos on the sides, and then I am a header should be perfectly in the center. And there you go, which is really nice, right? So at this point, that's very
Clean.
nice.
That is so easy.
It's clean, right? Like it's super
Yeah.
easy to get that up and running. And at that point, you're pretty much already getting like near enough to sort of like to the point of where we want to get to. So,
Dude, I
um,
just had this idea. What we should do is like make almost a cheat sheet of space between and justify content and stuff, but like not a dummy cheat sheet, like a real world cheat sheet. So um for example, we have a cheat sheet where we have this image like this right here, right?
yeah. Oh, that would be sick.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
actual app, and then they can see, and this is like Flex, space between.
yeah,
And then the Amazon one where you built the header, maybe like whatever it's there. So I feel like this will give people an idea of like how this looks in real life.
yeah, exactly. And even like if we had the different variations for this one header, so like space evenly, space between, center, shows you like exactly the difference what it's doing. That'd be kind of cool. Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're actually gonna go ahead and give this a very subtle border, right? Uh, so if I go ahead and add a border here, so it's a border, I'm gonna give it a 1 pixel solid, and this is a very light gray, right? So just to exaggerate this, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, so red, and you can see as soon as I save this now, you see there's like a red border, right? We're going to give it a very subtle gray because in Tinder they have a very, very subtle gray underneath it. So you might not struggle to see this, but it's a super, super subtle gray, right? And the more we build it out, the more you'll see that. Um, but then what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add the Tinder logo. So the Tinder logo is actually, so what we need to do is we go, instead of saying I am a header, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use image, so like this, and basically it asks for a source. So in this case, what we're going to go ahead and do is I've got a source right here for a Tinder logo. So we can go ahead and do this. And just so that you guys can see it, in case you do want to use that, I'll double line it so you can pause the video and see that. So there
Nice.
you go. Right, so you guys can see that and you can make that a single line and use that link. Nice. And then what we can do is in the alt tag, so over here, guys, we can actually go ahead and type in, we could just say Tinder logo or something like that. Because you should always give like some kind of alt text, right? As soon as we hit save on that, it formats it nicely. And then you can see now in R1, we will have this huge logo that gets thrown in, right?
Yeah.
So if we open up our app on the right,
Dope.
because we've got, there we go. So now we should see, okay, so it hasn't popped in actually. Oh, I haven't saved it. Oops. Right, so now if I go ahead and let's see. Yeah, so now we've got a massive Tinder. So we can't actually see it very clearly, but there is a huge Tinder icon on the right. So
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
see that? So it's
Yep, yep.
huge, right? Which means like obviously that's not ideal. It
Oh,
means
I
the
see.
resolution is very good, but we basically want to resize that, and we want it to be a nice little neat icon at the top, right? So in
Yep.
order to do that, let's go ahead and give this a class name so that we can style it. And
Got it.
here we can do, I'm going to give this one a header, and then in BEM styling we say header
I want to take
underscore
one
underscore.
comment here real quick. So sorry guys, some of your
Do it.
comments aren't coming through for some reason, but
Yeah.
we have a comment by Elizabeth Edelson, and she asks, "Hey Sunny, is there a reason why you start your components as function or const? Which do you prefer and why?"
Right, so function against const, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So what she means here, guys, is you can either write it as function or you can do like this, right? And this will actually do the same thing. So this is the ES6 way of doing it, right? So this is ES6, and this is essentially what we call an arrow function, right? So I do like to write them like this. So when I'm coding, I actually tend to stick to this way because it's
Yeah.
very neat, it's very clean. But when we use some tools, like we used a handy little tool called ES7
Snippets.
React snippets. Yeah,
Yeah.
and what that does is it actually pops in sort of the sort of the pre-populated code for you, but it actually goes ahead and does it in the old way, which is this way. So it's function. Now,
Yeah.
guys, there's nothing wrong with this, except you just need to change it
I
like
think
that.
both are okay, right? As long as you stay consistent, you should be good.
Yeah,
There's no massive benefit to one over the other, but the more modern way is with the arrow functions.
exactly.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and to be fair, it's actually good to know both. It's really
Yep.
good to know both. Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
nice. So now what we'll do is where we've got the class name, we do header underscore underscore, and then the set after you have these two underscores, you write the element that you're talking about. So in our case, header logo. And guys, you never nest, so you never have three levels or like logo, sort of like Tinder or something like that. You never do that. So it's always just header, the component that you're in, and then the element. So in our case, the logo is what we're talking about. So we can go ahead and save that, and then we need to style it. So we go into our CSS, we say header logo. And now what we're going to do inside of here is we're going to firstly give it a height of 40 pixels. Okay. Now, if I give it a height of 40 pixels, we should straight away see it snaps in, and it looks a lot better like that. Right? Looks a lot better. But I just want to show you a little trick now. Say I was to set it as a width of like 60 pixels. Right? Now, look what happens to the image. Right? It's you see that it distorted, right? So it really distorted, and it doesn't look too good. And if I make this a bit bigger, so 90 pixels, you see it stretches out, right? If anyone ever runs into this problem, there's a really handy little hack called object fit. So if you do this object fit contain, look what happens now. It will keep the aspect ratio while maintaining that size.
Ah.
So if I do that, look
So
at
it
that.
doesn't look ugly and like, yeah, then now it looks actually really great.
Yeah. So that's a magic trick there, guys. In this case, the height 40 does it perfectly for us, but
Yep.
object fit is
I,
something which I always recommend you put.
yep. I'm just going to comment it out one more time, guys, so you can actually see what it does. So let's actually
Um,
comment. Oh, yeah.
you might have to put a width. Let's put a width of like, let's say 30. Let's say, oops, width of like 30 pixels, and you should see it distort.
Yeah, so guys, take a look at that, right? This is important. Like, this is a hack that he constantly, like, every build that we do talks about object fit contain, but this basically just locks in the resolution, so it makes sure it's like pixel perfect. So now, if we actually uncomment this out and save, it actually starts to look pixel perfect, whatever it needs to do to make that happen.
Yeah, exactly. So
Beautiful.
object fit is, and once I found out about this, it was like a game changer. Like I
Yeah.
was looking for something like this, and it fixes so many different headaches that you always run into. So definitely get used to using that, guys. Something that I saw in
Amazing.
the
We
comments.
are.
Why?
By
Yeah.
the way, guys, this is amazing. We just broke 9,000 views. So thank you guys so much for that. Guys, we're about to break 10,000. This is going to be freaking insane in less than an
What?
hour. So that's never happened
Holy
before, guys.
crap.
If you want to help us with this, just please smash the like button and also just drop in the comments below that you're excited so we can hack that YouTube algorithm, send it out to more people. Thank you for being on here. But Sunny, yeah,
Thank you
go for it.
so much, guys. That's insane, dude. Holy crap.
That is
Nice.
insane. Wow.
Nice. So I saw a question, and a lot of people said, why const? Why not let? Right? Guys, just a quick heads up. So when we do stuff like this, when I had it as const before, the reason why is because const says that like once you define it, it's not going to change, or you're talking about the same object. So my rule of thumb is always use const until you need to use let. Right? If you follow that rule, it always just makes life easier. So always use
Wow.
const until you need to use let.
I
That's
love
the
that.
easiest way.
I
Yeah, it's the
love that. Like,
easiest way of remembering that.
you know what's crazy is that you told me about that. Always just use const until you need to use let. And when I go by that rule, what actually happens, guys, is when I'm using const, sometimes I run into an error. And as soon as I run into an error, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm actually changing this variable a lot. Like maybe I'm incrementing it, or I'm like, changing this array. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I need to actually use let, and then I'll go back.
Exactly. And it protects you guys because it protects you against like accidentally changing things when you didn't want to change stuff. So a
Yeah.
really, really good thing to incorporate.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what we're gonna do next, guys, is the icons that we imported actually allow us to add a prop. So icons, if a lot of you guys don't know, are actually fonts, right? So whenever you talk about an icon, you're actually talking about a font if it's a true icon. And in this case, they accept something called font size in Material UI. So here what we can do is they actually accept either large or small. In our case, we're just going to use large and watch what happens. So if I add this here and I add this here and I hit save, we'll see that the fonts, so you see the icons actually grew a bit. They got a little bit bigger, right? And it gives us like a very clear, crisp way of using it. So that's a really nice little trick for you guys. What we're also going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and give those icons. So right now the icons are touching the side, which I don't really like too much. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give a class name to these two icons. So here I'm going to add this class name of header icon to both icons. You see this? Header icon, header icon.
Yep.
And what I'm going to go ahead and do is go into header.css and style it and just go ahead and say that I want to give it a padding of 20 pixels. So before I hit save on this, so padding of 20 pixels, before I hit save on this, let's keep an eye on those icons on the right. So as soon as I hit save, it's going to add a padding around them and we should see it now. Oh, I haven't saved it yet. So now, should see it pop in. I have done that right. Header icon, person, class name. Let me go ahead and see what's going on here.
We are 2 views away from hitting 10,000 views.
Oh my god, dude.
Damn.
That's insane.
Wow, this is awesome.
Damn it.
And as soon as you find the fix, just jump in.
Nice. Oh, that's it. We're good. Yep.
Guys, we just broke 10,000 views. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, thank you so much. We almost at 1,000 thumbs up as well. Guys, if we can get to 1,000 thumbs up, look, I can see the number creeping up. Just keep smashing it, guys. Keep doing it.
Keep smashing that.
Nice. Right, so the next thing, guys, is what we're going to do is, so we actually added that padding, and you can see now this is a very good demonstration of Flexbox, right? So we can see that it added padding, but notice how the image now isn't aligned on the horizontal axis with the rest of the icons, right? That's a problem because it doesn't look good. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the header CSS rules, and we use this nice little trick called align items. And what this will do is if we do align items center, on the horizontal axis, that's going to align everything central. So now if I do that, there we go. Well, maybe vertical, yeah. Always forget. But yeah, there we go. So it got it all straight on the same line. And now that looks really crisp and clean, okay? So that's the first step, guys. And that's really nice. And everything looks pretty sweet on that front. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and that's actually, for now, that's actually, no, one more step, right? The buttons right now, so you see the 2 icons right now. If we check out the one that we built, Kazi, we can actually see.
Right over here.
Yeah, so if we can actually see when we click those, you see that it has that nice clickable effect.
Ooh, that little, yeah, that is nice.
Yeah. So we want that same clickable effect. So whenever you use icons,
doesn't Material UI kind of come with that? When you click?
Yeah, so it does come with that, but it comes with that for buttons, right? But what you can actually do is you can
make
actually go ahead and, yeah, you can make it a button, but they've got something really nice called icon button. And what you do is you just wrap that around an icon and it gives you all of that stuff.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Let's do that.
So what we can do is to import it, what we do is we just pull in this line here. Mehban said, Sonny, would you swipe right on me? I actually did swipe right on you. That's how we met.
Holy crap. I did not know you guys met on Tinder.
It wasn't Tinder. It was a different app called Dilmo. But yeah, that's how we met. It's crazy, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So here we've got icon button right in there.
Dilmo? What is that? It's called Dilmo?
Dilmo, yeah. It's crazy.
Huh.
It's like a South Asian sort of style of dating app.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I heard of Minder, you know.
I haven't heard of Minder.
It's like Tinder, but for Muslims.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
sick. We should make Tinder, but for developers. That would be sick.
I swear to God, I feel like you just hit $1 million app right there.
Only software developers allowed dating each other.
Yeah, like proof of your GitHub to get in, you know?
It's like, do you use Node instead of Firebase? Like, swipe left. Swipe left if you use Node. So
GraphQL, swipe right.
yeah, C++ swipe left.
Yeah, exactly. Firebase, super like,
Yeah, super like.
Oh
Oh
man.
man. Oh, that is actually golden.
That is. I think we should build that next,
People would pay for that. Like they'd literally sign up for like 20 bucks a month.
Yeah, it's actually a good idea. Holy crap. Nice. So we imported the we import we're gonna have a chat after this, guys. If you see Tinder come out at any point, you know who built it.
They're
So
they're like loving it in the comments. I see it.
yeah, oh sick. Someone said Tindev.
Tindev.
Yeah,
Oh, that is
that's pretty good.
nice.
Yeah,
That is
that's really
actually.
cool. Tindev. Nice. So guys, you see where we have the two icons, right? So there's person icon here, forum icon. What we can do now is we can wrap the icon button. So icon button. Oops, we can wrap that like this. And what we can do is if I pop that in there, and I'm not going to save it yet, and I'm going to do this, which is why it's not formatted the way. Because by the way, guys, if you're wondering why we get that automatic formatting, is because we use something called Prettier. I recommend everyone does it, and it will make your life a lot easier. So as soon as I hit save now, you see Prettier kicks in, and we've wrapped the icon buttons. And now what we'll see is you see it just got that light little gray overlay because it's automatically applied that sort of button style to it, which means we don't actually,
Ooh, fancy.
and you get that nice little clickable, that little floating ripple
Ooh,
effect.
man, I love that. Like that ripple is so nice. Like look at that.
Yeah,
Ah,
it gives you such a nice. It's so satisfying, like clicking
it's
it, and
so satisfying, dude. Like, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
really nice. Right. So now what we're going to do is we've actually gone ahead and finished the header, which is perfect. So we actually did that really nice. Let's go ahead and go to our app.js. What we can do now is we can actually
By
go
the
ahead
way,
and
on our
yep.
Tinder for developers, people are jumping in and they're like, I would invest in this idea. And then somebody's like, yo, he's like, I was literally talking to my friend about what app
Yeah.
I should make with Swift, and we were joking about Tinder 2.0 with background checks.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, I can see that one. Yeah, nice. TinDev killed it, dude. I seriously think that's such. I mean, like, oh, we should do that. We should do that. We
One of our
should do it.
builds. We're gonna do that for one of our builds live.
Yeah, TinDev. And the next thing you see like TinDev gets Series C funding.
Seriously, TinDev would actually be like, I think that's something we can just like stream for 12 hours unprepared, and I think people would love watching it.
Yeah, and that's something me and Kazi would do. Like we would actually go ahead and build stuff like that, and yeah, that'd be fun, man. We should do that with maybe with the React Native. That'd
Yeah,
be a cool project.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and let's go ahead and get rid of let's build the Tinder clone app at the top, so that way the header actually sits at the top. So if we save that now, it's starting to look a bit more like an app. So it's starting to already got that nice app feel to the top, right? Awesome. So the next step, guys, is to actually go ahead and build, I guess, the Tinder cards, right? But before we do that, I think this is actually a good point to actually introduce React Router, right? So at this point, if we so React Router, guys, is basically going to allow us to have several different pages. So we noticed when we built the app, when we click on the sort of messages screen, you opens up the messages screen. When we open up the the individual chat screen, you open up the chat screen, right? So in order to get that working in the way that we need it to, we need to install something called React Router, right? So Kazi, let's go ahead and go over to reactrouter.com.
Cool.
Yep, so React Router. And I think it's the second link. So it's not the GitHub link. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the one.
This
Yep,
is the
nice.
website.
Yeah, so if you could click on web.
Weird website.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit strange. This is the nice sort of docs. But then what you want to do is, where it says npm install React Router DOM, you just want to copy that line, right? So copy that line, and then we go ahead and do npm install React Router DOM. And
Yep.
now what that'll do is that'll pull in everything we need to handle the routing, right, inside of our app. So that's pretty much going to go ahead and do that. And then once we do that, guys, remember run npm start to relaunch the app back up again. But you can go ahead and look at the docs. They have really good documentation on this stuff. So just go ahead and restart the app. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you sort of all you need to actually get it running, right? So
Nice.
to actually get it running now, all we need to do is let's go ahead and firstly we type in router, right? So, oops, I don't know why mine does that. So we have router.
Yo, I
Here.
actually love that. Somebody just said like on TINDER instead of dates, instead of like their profile pictures, it's actually their coding projects, and you can take a look at that and match
Oh,
with them based on their projects.
yeah. And imagine that someone else said bug fixing and dating. So
Yeah,
like if
you
you
could
just
you
type in
could either you could date them or you could hire them both.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's got potential, dude. Oh my God. How did you get material? How did you get icon button wrapper from Material UI, Sunny? I just imported it. Very good question. I just
Mhm.
imported it at the top, so you can see it there. That's how we do that. So back to React router, guys. We have the router here, which is basically like it's going to be the parent, and everything else sits inside of this now. Yeah. So imagine all of this stuff will sit inside of here. Even our header will sit inside of here, right?
Mm.
So we go ahead and save that. So everything sits inside of React Router. And then what you want to do is you have something called a
Whoa,
switch.
whoa, 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 man! What did you do? The app is broken. I
Oh
need a
shit.
refund.
Need a refund. So what we need to do now, guys, is actually go ahead and import it. So there's a little trick, and I think let's go ahead and try the import trick, Kazi.
Oh
So
God,
go to
that trick
router.
never works, man. That trick.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Did it work?
Look what
Oh,
you've done.
oh, I think that's right. No,
No,
router.
hold on. Let's try it here.
Oh, damn.
All right. Ah,
It never works. Sometimes it works, guys, but basically all you need to do is I'm going to copy it in here. So this is what we're going to import.
yep.
So this is all
Import
the stuff.
React. Wait, hold on, bro.
You can do
Ah, there
that.
we go. There we go. That's the one.
Yeah. So this is essentially what we need to import, guys. So here what we're saying is we're saying import browser router, but rename it as router because browser router is kind of ugly, right? And then you've got switch, root, and link. And these ones we'll explain in a sec. We don't actually need link yet, but these three we need, right?
Yo, that's
So,
awesome. Somebody just donated like $1. Ranit. That is so awesome. Thank you. And he says, awesome,
oh,
guys.
nice.
20K views soon. Hell yeah.
Hey, that's it. Awesome. Nice. Somebody says any tip to optimize images. Oh, I will show you a tip in a later video if we get enough sort of people interested. You can use Firebase to handle that really nicely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the router, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and push in something called a switch, right? So switch. Now, what a switch does is, I don't know why it does that, right? So a switch, what a switch is basically all of your routes sit in here, right? So let's just kind of pop this outside for a second. So I'm just going to comment this over here. Oops, I'm going to push this outside for a second. And even this stuff, let's just go ahead and push this down here. So we've just got a very clean layout, right? So you've got a router and then you have a switch. And now you define something called routes. So here, we would have one route, which would have a path, which says when your website is on the home page, right? So when your website's on the home page, basically go ahead and do this. So say like, so let's go ahead and say, I am homepage, right? So I am homepage. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this again, and I'm going to push this at the top. And you want to do, let's say when we're on the chat sort of page, I am the chat page, for example, right? So now we have these two different routes, and they will render two different things, right? So somebody else donated. Oh, thank you so much. Nice.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you for another donation, Akansh.
Awesome. Sheila says, Sunny, please show us how to deploy it to Firebase. We will be showing you that. So stay tuned and we will be showing you that at the end of the video. Yeah, so now we've clicked save. So now you can see Kazi's on the home page right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to, if we go ahead and go to /chat,
Mm-hmm.
look what happens now. So /chat, look what happens.
Whoa, it's like instant. I'm a chat pag. There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm a chat bag, yeah. So nice. So that's how we basically define routes, guys. And that's how different pages work inside of a React app, right? So that's actually what's happening when you do that. So at this point, what we can do is, neat little trick for you is if you want the header to appear on all of the pages, what you can actually go ahead and do is actually just put it outside the root, right? And now, regardless if you're in the chat page or if you're inside the other one, notice how, so if we go now to the home page, so if we go over to forward slash, just forward slash, notice how the header stays
Ooh,
there.
that is looking clean.
Yeah, so now
Ooh.
you'll notice how, because we put the header outside of the root, it renders the header regardless, and then based on the root, it will render out the rest of the stuff, right? So this is called like dynamic
Ah.
routing, right? Which is really
Oh,
cool.
that is nice. So this allows us to just have the header pretty much everywhere. So like this thing is going to be everywhere. And then
Exactly.
the stuff that's underneath it, the body of the page, is going to be handled dynamically based on, dude, that is so clean. That is so
Yeah.
clean. Like if it's slash chat, it will do this here, which is,
Yep.
if it's home, it's going to show us this. But if I
Yep.
put the slash chat, then it's going to route. Oh, that is just,
Clean, right? And
that is
even you can go
clean.
to a level of doing that inside components, which is insane. So even in components,
Yo,
you can
hold on.
actually.
I'm about to build one right now, live. Okay.
Okay.
I'm picking this stuff up. You know,
Just do it.
I'm picking out what you're putting down. Let's do Kazi. I'm gonna do yo Kazi here. Fire
Nice.
emoji. Let's save it. And now
Yep.
you're telling me if I do Kazi, oh man, that is just so
That's
cool.
sick, right?
I love it.
That's
I love
yeah.
React.
So powerful and like it's so clean, like literally, and you have this nice like high level hierarchy of like why things render. But guys, one thing to notice, I think they fixed this in version 6 React Router, but it's something which you guys will run into. Let's say I go ahead and put this root, right? So let's say I go ahead and put this root at the top. Yeah. Now, even if we go to forward slash Kazi, watch what happens. So let's go ahead and go over to forward slash Kazi.
Like that.
Now you see it says I'm a home page. And
Yep.
you're wondering, like, hang on, but it didn't reach because imagine like code runs sequentially in JavaScript, right? So it's going to read this and it's going to read this and it's going to read this.
Yep.
It hits this and it's like, okay, I already rendered what I needed. So you always want to have your default root at the bottom, right? And then you have your specific roots at the top. So you always put your default at the bottom. Otherwise, you'll be wondering like, why is it not working? And I've actually sat there in the beginning and spent ages debugging that.
That makes sense. Okay, good.
Saves you
That's
guys a bunch of hassle.
yeah, that's a good one, guys. That's an important one.
Yeah. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and we have the chat, we have the homepage, and for now we can leave this as the chat. But for the homepage, oh, we've got the header here. Perfect. So I guess the next step is to actually go ahead and implement the React card, right? So the React card is the really interesting part now.
Another
So
donation by Hacker Street. Thank you so much. Really, really
this is
appreciate that.
amazing, dude.
Yeah,
Like this
guys,
is a
we're-
fun. Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Nice.
Now I don't feel bad for getting this Starbucks coffee, you know. Finally.
Yeah. Nice. So now if we go to Google and type in, let's type in React Tinder card. So somebody actually went ahead and built a card component, which we're going to go ahead and make use of, which it's a really, really nice way of doing it. And somebody went ahead and made a component for that. And oh my God, I just saw a 3D one as well. Oh, damn. I might actually go rebuild that and do it with that.
build it live.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, this is
And
the
the
one we
code
want,
and the
though.
code looks pretty kind of clean too. Like on card left screen, on swipe. Seems like it handles a lot of that logic for us.
Exactly, which is going to be really clean, really nice, right? So what we're going to do at this point is we just need to worry about installing it. So let's go ahead and copy the install code. So npm install React Tinder card, and then we can go ahead and
I'll just open up a new terminal here.
Yep.
Oh, and I gotta make sure that I CD. Not
we
that
go.
that's
Yes,
completely
yeah.
necessary. But it always bites us in the ass at the very, very end.
Yeah, it comes when we actually deploy because we would have been installing our dependencies somewhere else. Nice. So once we do that, guys, so while that's actually doing that, oh, it done that pretty quick, actually.
Yeah.
Nice. So now what we can do is we want to have all of our sort of Tinder card logic in a separate bit. I don't want this bit to like sort of get bloated out and have a bunch of code here, right? It's just going to be ugly. Nobody wants that. So here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is build something like this. So let's go and have a Tinder cards component. So something like that, right? So what I can do is I'm going to create a file called Tinder cards, and we're going to snap into it in just a sec. So Tinder cards. So now we're inside of that file, right? And what I'm going to do is type in RFCE. So this is the ES7 ES7 snippets extension, in case you're wondering how this works. I press enter, and it basically builds it like this. And just to show you an example of how we can do it like this, we can pretty much have it like that, right? We can have it like that as well. But in this case, it's very easy to see it as function. So nice. So here, this is where all the cards are going to live, right? So just to sort of get it working, we can say Tinder cards, and then we can save that file, go back to app.js, and basically import. So if I go ahead and import this one, so oh, that trick didn't work, damn it. So if we got to the top, we say import Tinder cards from Tinder cards, Tinder cards, and then we save it. Now we can see Tinder cards loads, right? So that's really nice. And now all of our code is just going to live in this tindercards.js file, which is much nicer than having everything in one place.
Yep.
Nice. So now we have the H1 here. So instead of having it like this, what we essentially want to have instead is basically, so you'll notice in their example, what they do is they actually have like an array, right? They have an array of stuff. So and what we can do here is we can go ahead and do an array outside. So let's just say const, and let's just call it our characters.
When you say array, what do you mean?
So an array is like a list.
No, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
But like, what were you referring to when you said that they have an array? Array of like people in there, array of like cards, like what is it?
Exactly. So remember, when we're swiping through those cards, right? We need a list to sort of swipe through. So we have like a list of sort of people to swipe through, right?
Got it. So we're basically,
go
ahead. So we're putting all of these people in an array with all their, and is it an array of objects?
Yes, it's going to be an array of objects, and they're going to have two things, right? They're going to have
an image and the name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly.
You guys, by the way, do you guys follow that so far? Like that array is going to need each person's image and name so far. So then we can like display the name and we can display the image. Okay. That's what we're actually building right now. If you follow that, just drop it in the comments below.
Exactly that. Perfect. So guys, what we need to do here is let's go ahead and use some state, right? So state in React is like the short-term memory, I like to call it, right? So in this case, what we're going to call it, let's refer to all of the people that you see as just characters, right? So in this case, characters is going to be a very easy way to remember it, right? So the characters here are going to be, or we can just call it people. Let's just say people, right? So people, and I say set people. And this is basically what I'm doing here is I'm declaring a variable in the React way. Let's just think of it like that, right? I'm declaring a variable. So this is how you declare a array in React, or any variable in React. Yeah. So you use state, right?
So basically, this is the same. I'm just gonna keep hammering it till it's like clear in my mind and your guys's. Guys, this is the same as literally typing in that.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just gonna leave that pretty much permanently there, because like once you get this through just tons and tons of just brutal pattern recognition, you will become insanely good at React. Like that is pretty much the same thing, you know?
Exactly that. And and I see some people saying, well, like that's what you do in functional components. Yeah, for now, guys, focus about functional components. So whenever you see state or use state, or hooks, then it's we're always talking about functional components. And also, you might be wondering what set people is. Set people is always going to, the sort of standard is whatever your variable's called. So let's say in this case it's people, your modifier is called set, whatever your variable is. So set people in this case. And what we mean by modifier is we never do this. We never say, so imagine we had Kazi's variable up here. So const people equals this. We never do people equals something like this, people.push, I don't know, like ABC. Right, or like however you never directly assign it. Instead, you say set people, and then here you'd pass in an array or something, or like this, or you could.
Oh yeah, that's another good one. Let's actually leave those as comments. So leave your thing, and I'm gonna do people dot push, and I'll literally do the same thing as you're doing right there. So I'm gonna leave mine both comment. Yeah, we can comment that out right there. So guys, that's, and we'll comment this out now. Like literally, guys, this is the normal way of doing it. Okay, this is how you would do it normally, or bad in this case, and then this is the React way of pushing to the array. Okay, I'll just put in parentheses, push to an array in React.
Yeah. Right, and the reason why we use this set people or set whatever the variable is called is because it tells React when you change the variable, oh, remember to re-render the component. So that remember to repaint the screen. But React's very clever. It means that like if you change the people in that list or the people on those cards, it knows then at that point to change to sort of repaint the screen. So it knows to update or refresh the screen, right? So in this case now, what we're going to do is, let's say we have some people, and inside of here, we're going to have two objects. We're going to have, let's just say for simplicity, let's have name, let's have Sunny, and then let's have URL, and then we could just do, or let's just do characters here. So we done, so in this case, we had, let's just say Steve Jobs or something, Steve Jobs. And then
these streams are awesome. Like I'm watching it every time. I'm just becoming a better React developer. Like
yeah, it's crazy, right? Like it's so crazy. And then for the second person, let's just have like, let's say Mark Zuckerberg. Right? Now, here you have like the two names. And then for URLs, we can go ahead and find like a picture of those two people as reference. So I'll go ahead and find them in a second. But basically, what these are going to do is the URL is going to be the picture of that person. And the name is going to be what we're going to see, right? So that's basically our structure set up. So these are going to be two cards in our array, right? So that's awesome. Now what we need to do is actually go ahead and pull that information into the app, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say down here, let's go ahead and say, so we're going to do some JSX, and we're going to say people.map. So we're saying loop through those people, right? Loop through that list of people, so that array. And then for every single person, so remember, it loops through and it gets the first person and you output some information, loops through, gets the second person, output some information, keeps doing that until you get to the end result. And then here we're going to say return, so normal parentheses, we're going to say return a Tinder card, right? So a Tinder card. Now you're wondering what a Tinder card is. We actually need to import it. So let's go ahead to the top of the code up here. We say import.
That's pretty important, Sunny. So Joshua says, what does the parentheses ... mean? It just means that keep whatever was in the state earlier and append to that. That's all that means. So it just says, hey, don't completely overwrite it. Put the initial stuff first. So this is what he's referring to, you guys. So I'm highlighting it. Oh, actually, I got to move his comment because it's taking over the whole screen. So yeah, that's what he's referring to. So it just means keep whatever is there already, then add Sunny to that and add Kazi to that. If Sunny did not have this, guys, it would actually just override the actual array. We don't want that. We want to have multiple people in there and not keep overwriting them.
Yeah, and that's called a spread operator, and it's huge in ES6. So definitely worth
spread operator.
Yeah, and imagine it this way: like imagine you had an array, it literally just spreads it out. So it spreads the contents out, and in this case, it spreads the contents out inside of our array, and then we add Sunny and Kazi.
Yep, love it. Okay.
Nice. So we've just imported the Tinder card from that dependency that we installed earlier. The second step now is we're going to use that Tinder card. So we're going to say Tinder card like this. Tinder card like this. And then what we're going to say is inside of that Tinder card, let's go ahead and have a div. So let's go ahead and have a div. And that div is going to have a class name of card. So let's just say, in this case, we're just going to call it card. We're not going to use BEM just for this demonstration.
And what we're about to do right now is in our array, we're going to have Steve Jobs show up for our card, and then Mark Zuckerberg show for our card.
Exactly. So here, what we can say is we can have so the person's name will come up here, right? So basically, to get the person's name here, what we can do is we can just say person dot name in curly braces, and that will actually go to this person, and it will access the name key, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that the div, right? So imagine we have a container, we have the name, but the div here is actually going to have the following. So we're going to say it's going to have a style, and the style that we're going to directly apply here is, this is called an inline style, right? And what we're going to say is we're going to say it's got a background image, right? Background image. And we're basically going to do something called string interpolation here. And we're going to say it's a URL, right? It's a URL, open close brackets. And inside that URL, we're essentially going to have the person.url. And basically what this is doing is it's saying the background image. So imagine this is essentially changing the CSS through JavaScript. So we're actually modifying the style here through JavaScript. So we're saying set the background image of the container, so that sort of square box around sort of the person name, to whatever that person's URL is. So in this case, we have got an empty. I'm going to go ahead and grab something right now. So Steve Jobs. Let me quickly grab a URL for Steve.
Components, guys. So, you're going to be using camel casing.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got. I'm going to grab a picture for Steve Jobs and a picture from Mark Zuckerberg. And guys, you don't need to copy the exact pictures that we got. Any picture will work here. You just need to go on Google and grab a picture. So in this case, we've got Steve and we've got Mark. Let me go ahead and grab a better one. So we got this one. There you go.
Yeah, any photo will work, but yeah, you guys can take a look at which ones we're using, and you can literally copy that if you want to, but get your own.
Yeah,
get your own photo.
Are you following me still, Kazi? I'm just wondering. What was it?
I am now following you.
Nice.
Okay. It wasn't following you for a second, I think.
Yeah. So I'm just added those two pictures there. So it's literally just a
Let me take a look at this photo, bro. Let me take a look at what you got. Let's see. Let's see if you're representing Steve Jobs the right way. All right, low resolution photo, but it's all right. I think that'll work.
Yeah. And then check out Mark's one.
All right, let's check out this one right over here. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Mark, but I'm gonna have to swipe left on this one.
Oh man. So we have those two pictures, right? And we have this with the
By the way, thank you guys so much. We just broke 15,000 views, you guys. What the hell?
Holy.
That is insane. Thank you guys so much for doing this, guys. Guys, keep smashing that like button. I also think we broke 1,000 likes. I'm not sure, but I think we did. We did.
Yeah. We broke 1,100 likes.
Jesus, what is happening today? Guys, you guys are a force to reckon with. Thank you for being on here. But please smash that like button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. And let's keep this thing going.
Hey, we just got another donation. Nice. By Monu Sachdeva. Thank you so much.
I love this. Our chat revenue is above $22.30 right now. I'm pumped.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Nice. So now we have, we just hit 1,200 likes. Hey. So we have the div and then we have the person's name, right? So that's really cool. What we want to do now is we actually want to go ahead and there's a few props that we need to pass inside the Tinder card, right? So Tinder card, this is after looking at the documentation. We're going to go ahead and give it a class name of swipe. So just for reference, we're going to come back to that in a sec, class name of swipe. And we're going to give it a key, right? And the key in this case is going to be the person's name, right? So in order to get the person's name, we do this, person.name. Reason why a key is so important, guys, whenever you have any kind of list, right? Any sort of list inside encoding, you want to give it a key, which is like a unique identifier for that item in the list. And this basically allows React to cleverly, in a smart way, re-render its contents, right? So we need to give it a key. And then what we need
hold
to
on,
do
I'm just gonna write that out, what you just said. So always give keys in React. And what's the benefit of this?
So it allows React to efficiently re-render a list, right? So it allows React to efficiently re-render a list.
And this also, so like in other words, guys, it also makes your app super fast.
Yep.
Now,
guys, the reason why you might not see the benefit immediately is because you only have like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 things inside your list. But let's say your app took off tomorrow, right? Let's say DevEd or like the Tinder app took off tomorrow, right? And we
TINDER.
suddenly had, yeah, Tinder suddenly took off tomorrow. We had like 1 million users on there.
Mm-hmm.
Then suddenly you've got 1 million users, and that slight decrease in speed suddenly becomes a huge decrease in speed, right? And
Yeah.
say like you matched up with thousands of people because you're like an amazing person, like you're gonna see that speed
Jesus.
drastically affect, right? Like it's drastically.
What kind of projects are you developing, bro? Holy shit.
You have some crazy GitHub, dude. Some people might.
Repo is just
Oh,
insane.
Jessica Apollina just donated 30.
Whoa.
Nice.
$30?
Yeah, dude.
No, this is
Holy,
MX. It's
that's
just
so
MX.
insane.
But it's something. Thank you. Oh my God, guys, what are you guys doing? I'm about to cry right now. This is
This
a
is
lot of.
blowing my mind,
Oh
dude.
my God.
Holy crap.
I'm about to get it. Yo, I'm about to take the money that we're getting from the chat and we'll just do a giveaway, like a free Clever Programmer shirt,
Yeah,
or like a
we
Tinder
should do
clone,
that.
Tindev shirt, and we'll just like
Yeah.
launch it.
Literally, TINDER was created. We should write the date underneath it, estimated whatever the date is. Oh
Yeah,
man. We've
I
got
love that.
Hasnau Aman says, does a cleanup process in use effect is necessary? Okay, so we'll talk about use effect later on. Very good question though.
They're calling
Um,
us the React Duo now, apparently.
hey, that's nice, dude. React to it. It's got a ring.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, I'll another way to think about this, right, guys, is if I go to Instagram.com and I go to like one of my things, right? Now, if I'm about to make a comment on here and I hit like blah, 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 and I hit post, now instead of it refreshing every single comment that's already on this post, when I hit post, it only posts that comment and it doesn't refresh anything else. That's another benefit of using keys in React. Okay,
Yeah,
otherwise that won't happen.
exactly. But what will happen is if you say you didn't put a key, a lot of people might say like, hang on, but it's still working, right? That's where you get confused because it's not actually working at that point. Like it is, and it's working, but it's not re-rendering it in the clever way. And now, trust me, it does make a difference. Just rule of thumb: always do use a key, right? So that's a nice example on Instagram. So back to Tinder card, guys. There was one more prop that's really important here, guys, and it's basically called prevent swipe, right? Now, prevent swipe is basically so the guys built this in such a way. So whoever made this component built in such a way that you could swipe left and right, but you could also swipe up and down. So like in Tinder, you have like super like I think if you swipe up and then swiping down, I don't think does anything. But in this case, our app's going to be a bit simpler, right? So it's just going to have up, left and right. So we're actually going to prevent a up and down swipe. So basically, the way they tell you to do that is you pass in an array of up and down, and that will prevent you from swiping up and down. Okay.
Look at this. Alexandra's like NPX create React app Tindev clone.
The race is on, dude.
Man, I'm actually like I think we can start a movement with this, but my bad.
I
Keep
think we
keep going.
can, dude. Yeah, I think we can. Nice. Okay, so now with that said, we've got those two things, right? Now they also have some really other cool stuff like on swipe, on card left screen, but we're not going to touch on those just yet. So with that said, what we can actually go ahead and do is I think, let me go and check on my local. Let me see if it does what I'm thinking it does before we start it. So okay, yeah. So now if you go ahead and go over to your local host. So now you'll see that these are actually pictures, right? They're pictures, but you can't tell properly. So if you swipe left on Mark Zuckerberg,
Ooh! Look
you see
at
that?
that. How clean is that, bro?
Yeah,
Let me take Steve Jobs and swipe right. Ooh, that is nice, you guys. My mind is
nice,
blown.
right? Nice.
Who will pay
Yeah,
for that app? How many of you guys will pay for that app right there?
exactly. That's Tinder right there. That's a backend Tinder.
Yeah, that's for
Uh,
that's the back end developers, guys. This is the app.
that's it.
They just have
Nice.
to log into their command line and they see the pictures in ASCII.
Exactly.
It's just a console log of like somebody's face in ASCII
Yeah,
characters.
the ASCII characters. Oh man.
All right.
So this looks horrible at the at this point, but I mean, for a front end developer, it looks terrible. For a back end, it looks beautiful. So at this point, we need to actually go ahead and add a CSS file. So I'm going to go ahead and create another CSS file called Tinder
Mm-hmm.
cards.css, right? Tinder cards.css. We're going to snap into that now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and import that. So import dash 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 Tinder cards.css. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we've actually got a bunch of things. So I've got a card, I've got this swipe. So I'm going to start going one by one. So let's start with styling the card a little bit, right? So the Tinder card, if we go in here, I'm going to give this a position of relative, which means that it's now going to basically be relative to its parent. So this is just a rule here that will help us out later on. So I'm just going to save that one. And as we save it, you'll see like things will slowly get reflected on the right, right? So we'll have that. Then we want to have a width of 600 pixels. Let's say a width of 600 pixels. Save that.
Wait, I'm seeing Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg at the same time now.
Yep, you will see them at the same time.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yep, for now you'll see it because remember, guys, it's just a list that we're returning those. So that's actually the background images of the people, but it looks like you can't really tell that at this point, right? So we have a width of 600 pixels, and then we have a let's just say a padding of 20 pixels. So you want those to have a bit of padding between between those cards. So okay, so it's starting to get a little bit better. And then we say a max width, right? So a max width, this will come into play later, but I will explain it when we sort of demo this later. But I'm going to give it a max width of 85 view width, right? So I'll explain that in a bit, and also a height here. So I want to give it a height, and the height I'm saying here is 50 view height. So this is all going to be proportionate to how big your screen is. So usually we use something called pixels, which is a set height, right?
Yeah.
But view height basically will determine based on the height of your screen or your device how big it should be, right? So you see in this case now, if we have let's have the app open on the side, Kazi, the local host.
Yeah. Ooh, whoa, whoa.
So you
Nice. I'm
see that,
starting to
right?
see
So
them.
it's using like approximately 50% of the view height of your screen to
Yeah.
figure out the sort of screen. So you see, like, if you look at Steve's one, it's pretty much like 50% is the height, right?
Yep.
So that's how we do that. And
I kind
now,
of like that I can, I can see like one of their eyes. So that's pretty good for me to judge somebody on.
and then all the swiping functionality is still there. Everything still works really nice. So the next step we want to do is add a little border radius to it. So let's add a little border radius. So let's go ahead and do that. Border radius. And that adds the rounded corners. And then what we're going to
Ooh,
say is we're going to
nice.
say background size of cover and background position of center. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these two in here. And now as soon as I hit save, guys, look at this magic.
Ooh.
Right? So it actually went ahead and it made it so that it covered the background and then it centered it. So obviously Mark's picture is pretty dominant on the left side, which is why even when it's centered, it's to the left. Yeah.
Man,
It's
yeah.
just a special use case,
It's like naturally left aligned.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna be like he's just one of those corner cases.
Yeah.
But basically, at that point, we have everything looking much nicer at that stage. Just to sort of show you guys in a very visual way, I can go ahead and swap out Mark's face for this, and
Oh,
now
nice.
there we go. That's nicer, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit
Yeah.
nicer. Yep.
So then what we can do is we're going to add a little box shadow here because box shadows are nice. Everyone loves a box shadow. So let's
Oh,
add a little
yeah.
box shadow here to the card.
There's
So I'm gonna
actually
go.
this really nice website I use sometimes for creating a box shadow.
Oh, I think I used a few of the like they sort of
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
you
yeah.
to sort of do the directions.
Yep,
Right,
yep,
yeah.
yep. Yeah.
So you guys, if you just want to go ahead and you can copy that box shadow and that'll pretty much give you like it's very subtle behind it, right? It's very subtle. And what I'll do is when we get it working, I'll actually show you and get rid of that and it'll show you how that works. But the magic here now, guys, is we pretty much have this, like we have these two things stacked, right? So even if you
Yep.
swipe off of Steve Jobs, Mark will come up, right?
Yeah. By the
So
way,
that's
guys, if you're enjoying this so far, drop a comment below and let us know that you're enjoying this. Okay, let's keep the energy up, so then that way you can also learn a lot better. The more you are
exactly.
engaged, the more you're actually gonna retain. So if you feel yourself kind of like weaning off, whether you're watching a replay or watching right now live as we're here with you, if you feel yourself, like, stand up if you need to, like literally actually physically stand up right now.
Yeah,
Grab a glass of water, or just like stand up, move your body, sit back down, and have a good posture that's going to allow you to just focus in a much deeper level. And drop it in the comments below that you're ready to go. Okay, because we got
exactly.
a long way to go, but I want to make sure that all this information actually stays with you, so you don't have to feel like you're watching this 4 hours, 5 hours again and again, and it just doesn't retain. This way it will retain forever. Okay, so get your body a little bit more alert, drop it in the comments below, and let's keep going.
Exactly. And if you're enjoying it, guys, smash the thumbs up button.
Yes, do that
Nice.
as well.
Awesome. So that's yeah, so now we have Steve and we have Mark sitting there over there, right? But that's not how Tinder looks, right? They don't all come on the screen at once. So what we need to do at this point is we actually need to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and basically wrap our um, our our sort of Tinder cards inside of a, so let's call it Tinder cards inside of a container, and let's call it card container, right? So I'm just going to create a card container, and I'm going to basically pop all of the cards, all of the Tinder cards inside of that container, right? So the reason for this is because I'm now going to style this card container, and I'm going to apply some rules to it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say that the card container, so that card container should have display flex. So display flex, which means that by default it should go into a row. So now Mark should go to the right as opposed to being underneath, right? We're going to say justify contents on the center. So it will always sort of center the value, right? And then what I'm going to say is, so now you can see like it looks broken at this point, because it's like, hang on, like I've got Mark on, and Mark, I've got both of them in the center. But like Kazi, if you go ahead and you swipe on, so swipe on one person here, so swipe on one of them. Yeah, notice
Yep.
how Mark
Oh,
snaps to the middle.
nice.
Yeah, so he's already like sort of centered at this point, right? But we have this sort of problem of having both on the screen at one time, right? So I'm going to add a little margin here of 10 view height. So again, it's going to be dependent on how big the screen is. So I'm going to add a small view height here. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit more gentle. So let's just say 5 view height for now. So
Yep.
5 view height, there we go. And now what we're going to do is, this is where the magic happens, guys. So the card, so if we notice that when we made this card, we gave the Tinder card a class name of swipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and style this and say swipe. And then what I'm going to say is position absolute, right? Now, what absolute does is, what I'm going to do is, firstly, before we do this, I'm actually going to go ahead and, because if you refresh your page before we save this.
Yep, done.
Yeah, so guys, notice how there are two things on the right? So there is Mark and Steve, right? They're both there. But as soon as I do this, so now I'm saying set the position of the cards not to be the default, but to be absolute positioning, right? That
Mm-hmm.
means that it's going to be absolutely. So then what we're doing is we're actually stacking them on top of each other, right? So now if I do this, and I save it,
Yep.
did you notice how they basically went behind each other? And then what actually
Oh,
happened is,
nice.
yeah, they went behind each other, and then because they were actually center positioned, it made it so that they all go behind each other.
That is really cool. That is
That's
awesome.
cool, right?
Yeah.
So you get a really clean experience there, and everything works in a really nice way.
Yeah.
So that's
By
actually
the
at
way,
that point.
a
Yep.
few things I just want to highlight. Thank you guys. You guys are loving it. I'm seeing all your guys' comments. So like Elizabeth is like, yes, this is awesome. So Hayla's like, bro, amazing work. Loving the way you guys explain. So yeah, I mean, and then I will butcher this. I'll butcher this name, but Ola Kunle, even he was like, I'm pumped. And people are like, I'm trying not. They're like, no sign of sleep here. They're like, we're ready
Hey,
to go. So guys, awesome. I just see this right now because I see the dip happening, and I know that that's where the energy is going down. So I just want to make sure we bring that right back up. So that's why sometimes
exactly.
boom, I just connect with you, and yes, I'm looking at you, because if you chat right now, I will actually look at it. Sometimes you'll see me put my head down. It's because I'm actually reading your chat and actually trying to either respond or answer it later or bring it up on the screen. So if you guys engage there, we'll definitely see it. But again, thanks for actually engaging and putting your energy into it. You will retain just so much more, okay? So we really want to make sure the understanding is there as we keep going.
Exactly. And guys, we are always watching those comment sections, so never ever think that your comment is ignored. Every single one that you guys post through is motivating, and it brings us up, and it's what keeps us going for these like long live sessions. So we love it, guys, and we really appreciate you guys watching and being here. Nice. So now what we want to do is, guys, so we have Mark and we have Steve like perfectly aligned. They're looking like good in this sort of view, right? But what we need to do now is actually go ahead and fix the text. The text doesn't look good, right? You can't even see it at the moment. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to change it so that the way we do that is we go to our code and we say, go to the card and say where it's H3. So where there is a direct child, which is a H3. So and the reason why we're doing that is because here we have the card here, and then we're saying the direct child is a H3. So we're saying where the name is. We're going to go ahead and say it's position absolute. So absolute means that we can basically position it wherever we want, right? We're going to say it's going to be 10 pixels from the bottom, right? So in this case, because it's absolute positioning, I think 10 should work. And then what we're going to say is color, and then we're going to say it should be white, right? So if I save that, let's go ahead and see if that works first time. Is that going to work? So I think we need to do 10 pixels from the bottom. And there we go. So now we can see Mark Zuckerberg at the bottom, right? And if we go ahead and swipe again, you can see Steve Jobs is now at the bottom. So you can see like we started to get it already looking a bit like Tinder, right? And it's starting to look very, very nice and very, very clean, right? So we then want to go ahead and do, let me just double check. We have info text. Okay, nice. Right, so that actually, believe it or not, is actually the Tinder cards pretty much at this point done. So like that's actually a really, really nice, simple implementation to get that working. But we don't just finish there, guys. I'm going to show you now how instead of pulling it from our code, how can we pull this from Firebase? Because it'll be kind of cool.
Firebase, let's go.
Right? Because like most apps aren't going to pull from like hard written code. It's going to be pulling from Firebase, and we're going to have a balance here to sort of show you how you can do that and take this a step further. So with that said, what we need to do is remember that config file that we pulled earlier, Kazi?
Yeah.
We're going to need that right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a file called firebase.js. Right, so we're going to go ahead and create a file called firebase.js. And now what we need to do is we actually need to go ahead. So that's exactly the config that we had.
I'm gonna show you guys where I got it from, because I know it's been a long time since we were actually right there. So yep. I am in my app right now, guys, and basically go down here, and actually let me actually show you the URL. Oh, actually that URL probably will not help you at all. But here's the config file, and this is where I grab it from, and then boom, we just pop it in right there. Okay, this is going to contain all the information to your database, your project, all of that. So make sure that you have found that part of the project where we actually show you how to host the app on Firebase.
Exactly. Oh, nice. Kidus Niga said, watching this for 1 hour helps me more than a 10-hour video. That's amazing. Love that.
Ooh, whoa, that is awesome. Let me see if I can actually put that up on the screen. I can't find that comment, but that is awesome. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much. Nice. So, guys, before we do that, now we need to open up the terminal and do something. Do the following. So, you need to say npm install. So, I can't actually edit this terminal. So, let me request read-write access.
Done.
Yep. So, now if you press Command J to pull it up. So, we do npm I. Command J, yep, there we go. npm I, and then we say Firebase. So what this is going to do is going to install Firebase into the project, pull in all the dependencies that we need, and that will sort of allow us to use Firebase inside of our app. While that installs, let's go over to firebase.js. So what Kazi did here is perfect. So you just want to pull in your Firebase config, and then what you want to do is before that, you just need to do the following. You say import Firebase from Firebase, and then we have a magic sort of line. So we have a magic line here. So we have const, and it says Firebase. Let's just go ahead and call it Firebase app. So Firebase app, and then what we say is we say Firebase, because we're talking about the one that we just pulled in, Firebase dot, and then we say dot initialize app, right? Initialize app. So here we say initialize app, and that's like a function that Firebase give us. And then basically here, all we do, guys, is pass in the Firebase config. So like that, right? So we just passed in the Firebase config, and it's super clean, right? So it's super, super clean. And then what we can do is, the next step is we say const database equals, and then here all we need to do is say Firebase app. So we're basically we're referring to this one, Firebase app, and we say dot Firestore. Now, if you're wondering what Firestore is, it's the real-time, the sort of the newer real-time database that Firebase offers, and that's how we access it. So with that said, that is literally everything we need to get the database up and running, right? So all we need to do now is to make sure that we can use the database outside of this file is to say export default database. And
yep. So this is an important thing in React, guys. You always want to make sure you're exporting the variable that you need access to later, and you can then use it in different files, whether he uses in header.js or app.js. Just remember, exporting it at some point, whether it's a component or whatever, you're going to need access to it.
Exactly. And somebody just dropped 50.
Whoa, another.
Nice.
That is amazing. Now the chat revenue is over $4. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Nice. So we have export, default database. So that's perfect.
They dropped it, and they said it was Ranit. Ranit drops he dropped the donation, and then he also said finally Firebase.
Yeah, amazing, nice. So guys, this is like the magic point where we connected Firebase to React. So really, really important point here, right? So this is actually sort of, and this is so simple, guys, as in like it's literally the simplest implementation that you're gonna find with connecting React to Firebase. I've tried to look for simpler. This is the easiest way to do it, right? So once you have this up and running, that's pretty much everything you need to get set. So let's go ahead and head over to Firebase now, Kazi.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create. So we need to go to database on the left. And we need to click on Firestore. Once it opens up. Yeah.
So we're gonna now be building our database to what? To store the messages or store the cards?
No, so we're not gonna store messages. We're gonna demo how we can store the cards.
I see. Yeah, because all of these people that are here, they're actually stored in a database right now, right? In real time.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Right, and what we're going to show you is we're going to show you a mix of sort of hard-coded stuff and Firebase stuff, so that you guys can then get both sides of the skills and sort of like move from there if you want to build on top of it. So let's see what happens here. So it's taking unusually long.
We're almost at $5 in the donation. Let's go. $4.90.
Nice.
We're 10 cents away from hitting $5, you guys.
Let's go, guys.
I don't know. There's something about this $5.
I think we can.
There's something about the chat $5 that's honestly feels more than like $5,000. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
It's like you feel like you earned it.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Nice. What's happening here? So then maybe if we refresh again.
Okay. Let's see.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Let me just go ahead and log in.
Right. So what we're going to do now is we are basically going to, so there is a nice Firebase database called Firestore, right? And what it does is it has this sort of document collection structure to it. And what we're basically going to be doing here is essentially creating a collection of people. And inside of this, I'll show you now. So what we do is we go ahead and create database, click start in test mode. Make sure you click start in test mode. Start in test mode, and then click next. Perfect. And then you can choose any location here. Google's fast enough to sort of make it super quick. And then what we can do is once this starts up, we'll actually see the collection document view. And what we're going to do is once that comes up, we're going to create a new collection of people. right? So it's literally as easy as it sounds. So it's a collection of people, and inside of there, you're going to have a bunch of documents, which is going to refer to each of the individual people, right? And then, as we done in our code earlier, we had name URL, that sort of format. We're going to go ahead and do that in inside of this new database. So we have start collection. Let's go ahead and click that, and let's type in people. Right, so people, and let's click in. You can just click on auto ID there, and then so field can be name, and let's type in. Let's do. Should we do somebody new so we can see that it's pulling from new?
Sure. Let's do Ellen
Let's
maybe.
do Elon Musk.
Oh, nice. I'm down
Musk.
with Elon Musk.
Yeah, and then add a field, and let's do URL. So add field and then URL. And then we're gonna do so this one you can leave blank for now. Actually, no, don't.
And who do you guys want to see next? Let's take some people from you guys, your suggestions, and we'll add them in here.
Exactly. Yeah, let us know, guys. Let us know. I'm gonna find an image for you, and I'll drop the link inside of
for Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So I've dropped it in the Firebase config file.
Boom, and I got it. Bro, we're fast. I love this.
Yeah, guys, let us know who you want as the second person on our TINDER profile. Right.
Yeah.
Save, and then what you'll see now is it created a people collection with the first document, so the first person with the name of Elon Musk and the URL with his picture. So we can actually go ahead and connect to that, right? So what we'll do is we'll start building it. So somebody said Zayn Malik.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's George Hotz. You got Zayn Malik or George Hotz. We can add a few, actually.
I think if you took both of us and kind of combined us, we get Zayn Malik.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny because we forgot that we're actually building Tinder, which means we're swiping on guys here, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. So so we have Stephen Hawking. Okay, nice.
Oh, so, somebody said Aaron Bernath.
Nice.
Nas Domansky. Oh, that's hilarious.
Nas Domansky. Oh, somebody said we want Kazi.
Hey, okay.
Oh, Jeff Bezos. That'd be nice. Let's do Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Let's do that.
So we've got Jeff Bezos. All right. So Jeff. So the next one. So inside of Firebase.
Yo, guys, we're about to break 20,000 views. I'm about to lose my goddamn mind. What is happening? This has never happened before. Holy crap. Guys, we're at 19,483 views. The best way you can help, besides opening it up on your phone or something, which would be cheating, so let's not do it that way, but just like it if you haven't liked it already, because that's going to spread it out to more people. But guys, we're so close to breaking 2,000. This is something we have never in our history of channel been able to do before on a live stream, you guys. This is awesome. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Amazing. Kazi, go to Firebase. And let's create another document. So
another document. Got it. Auto ID.
Yeah. Auto ID name would be Jeff Bezos.
Yep. And you got the links?
Yep.
You'll get Nas.
Should I get Nas?
Yeah, you should get Nas's image at some. Yeah, and then drop it in here. But all right, we got.
Yeah.
yeah, you should. You definitely should. He's also on Tinder right now and trying to use it as much as he can.
I can't find Nas, dude.
On Google, you can't find Nas Domansky?
No, Nas Domansky.
Aw, come on, man. You gotta be able to find. There's gotta be so much. This guy's all over the internet. Look at this. Right here. We should use this one.
Oh my god. What? Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, Nas. That's
Copy
my bad.
image address. All right. We're going to drop that in here. So I'll create add document, auto ID, name,
No, hey,
That's hilarious. Okay,
let's
boom.
go. Guys, if you think that's amazing, like smash the thumbs up button for that. Let's
Yeah.
go. So nice.
All right.
Right. That dope. So now we've got three people inside of our database, which is enough for now, right? So what we can do is let's go over to our tindercards.js, right? So now what we need to do is rather than hard coding these values, right? So we don't want Steve and Mark Zuckerberg to come in here. We basically want to pull from the database. So we're going to use something called a use effect hook, right? Yeah. So here what we do is we say use effect. Now, what is use effect? So very nice way of putting it. Use effect is simply a piece of code which runs based on a condition,
It's like,
right?
yeah, it's kind of like a jacked if statement for React
Yeah,
that runs
exactly. And if
dynamically.
anyone used exactly, and if anyone used class-based components, use effect replaces all of the lifecycle hooks, like lifecycle methods,
Ah,
right? So
nice.
that's how they were able to get over to functional components with the use effect. So here we have the use effect. So we need to import that at the top before we carry on. So use
Nice. So
effect,
what are we
boom.
currently doing right now? We're trying to connect to the database, right?
Yeah. So we want those
Okay.
people that you added inside the
So just
database. I don't.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna show visually what we're talking about here. So guys, what we're gonna do is all of these people. So like here we got Jeff Bezos. So we're gonna have Jeff Bezos popping up on our app. Our app is this one. So we're gonna have Jeff Bezos popping up here pretty soon. And then we're gonna have Elon Musk popping up on the app pretty soon. So be
Yep.
on the lookout for that.
Yeah. And we've also got a special guest after that popping up.
What the hell? Oh yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah.
see. Yo, we just got
So
another donation.
did we? Wait.
I think we might.
Oh,
I don't know if we're gonna cross $5, but if we cross $5, I'm gonna lose my shit because we've never in my life I've never crossed $5 on live stream chat.
nice. That's insane, dude.
Yo, guys, we're at
Holy crap.
19,967 views right now. Okay, sorry.
Damn it.
Let's keep going. I'm killing the replay value here.
So now what we are going to do, guys, is we are essentially going to do use effect, and then we basically just want to have this. So the way we write a use effect is we have a function. So
We
it's an
broke
arrow
$5,
function.
by the way. I'm sorry,
We five we broke
guys.
five we broke £5.
We broke five
$5, I
dollars.
mean.
We're at $5
Oh
and
damn,
40
dude.
cents. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And
Oh
we
my
just
god.
broke 20,000 views. 20,000
Thank you
views.
so much, guys.
$5. This is amazing.
Holy crap. That's
Okay.
insane, dude.
Damn.
Oh my, we don't even get that sometimes. Oh my god, that's insane. Damn
Yeah.
it. Okay, so use effect, right? So inside of a use effect, guys, we have an arrow function here, right?
Yeah.
So inside here, this is where the code runs, right? This is where the code runs, right? Now, underneath it, we have this special sort of, this is where we put something called dependencies. So by leaving it blank, this means that it's going to run once. So by leaving it blank, this is going to run once. So this will run once when the component loads, and never again, right? Never again. So if you have this blank, the code inside of here will run once when the component loads, so Tinder cards when it loads, but it will never run it again after that, right? Which is really powerful. But
Yeah.
if I was to put something like people
So
to the very
just to be very clear, guys, what this will do right now is like if the header loads, will it run? That's my question to you. No,
no,
it will not run. If this thing loads right there, or sorry, if this card loads right here, will it run? Yes.
dude, somebody just donated $5.
What?
Min Chan Kim said make it 10. Damn, dude, thank you.
Yo, somebody
That's
else just
insane.
donated 5 or something. What is happening? Bro.
Holy. Oh my god. That's insane. Thank you so much.
We can
Min
end the
Chan
live
Kim.
stream, I
And-
think, right here. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I just can't take this anymore.
It's an early retirement right now.
Dude, thank you. He says make it 10, yeah. And then RDN Danny just put $5. Yo, this is so crazy. This is so awesome. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you
just having
so
a lot
much.
of fun, but it's okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
dude, this is
This
insane. We love this.
wow, thank you
Nice.
guys.
So this will run now when we have when the component loads once, as well as whenever people that variable people changes. So it's really powerful code snippet,
So
right?
what is hold on? So what does that mean? So if I what does that mean? If people variable people changes, if I swipe, will that what does that mean that people change, or does that mean only when people get added to the database?
Yeah, so this is a very careful thing to be. You have to be really careful here because if you had, for example, every time you swiped,
Mm-hmm.
then it would mean that the database or like say for example here I had the dependency where I said yeah, so yeah, exactly. So here we've added people, right? So every time I swipe, people would change if I manipulated what the
Bro,
list was, right?
Ranit just put one
1,000,
thousand.
dude.
That's
Uh,
$10. Yo, they're at the
damn,
top right
dude.
now. What the hell? What is happening?
Oh my God, everyone's insane today, dude. This is crazy. We love you guys.
Oh my god, this is so amazing. Thank you guys. I don't know how to like really react to this. This is wow.
Oh man.
Thank you guys.
Aluno Fesso says we love clever programming. We love you guys, dude.
Yeah,
Like that's
seriously guys. Thank you.
yeah,
This means a lot. Really appreciate it.
yeah, 100%. Right. So this would mean, yeah, whenever people changes, it would refire this code off, right? So once when the component loads and when people change, but we don't actually want this at the moment. We just want to run it once
Got
when the
it.
component loads and never again, right?
Got it.
So here, what I need to do is
Quick question
say,
for you guys if you're watching this, because I really do want you guys to engage and get value out of this. How can you make this piece of code fire every time the header changes? Okay. How could you make that
yeah,
fire? Or maybe some other variable. Actually, header is not a variable in this case, right?
yeah,
So if you
it's
guys had
not
another
you,
variable, how would we
yeah,
do that? Like, let's just say we had a variable called messages. So you guys see how we have people. Let's just say we had one called message. Okay. How would you
yeah,
make this fire every time message changes? So think on that. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You would put message right there and it would watch out for that.
exactly. So you would have something like this
Yep.
messages.
Yeah, like at some points, I kind of want to hammer over and over again because like there, like use effect right here and use state are like two of the most like common and important things with React. If you guys get this, you get so much of how React works.
Yeah, honestly, and that's no joke, guys. Like, if you know use state and use effect, and you master what props are and how to use props, those are literally going to be your fundamentals into building entire apps. Like, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, once you know those things and you know how to use that, and for example, what we're going to show next is how you use a use effect to put in information from the from Firebase. You can see like there's so much power in just those three things: use state, use effect, and props. So really, really amazing to learn that.
Yeah.
So the next step, guys, the next step is we basically need to import that database that we created earlier, right? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is say import database from, and then we say forward slash Firebase. So that's the Firebase file that we actually created. So we're going to import that database. So remember the one that we created earlier, guys. With this one over here, we have the default database here.
The
What I'm going to do
chat
is I'm going to go
revenue
ahead.
is at $25. Oh my god. Guys, I think we will actually make a shirt and then send it out as a giveaway. Every time I think if it
Yeah,
gets up to 30 or 35, we're going to just send it out as a giveaway for you guys.
I think we should, and we should do it like based on like whatever like today it was TINDER.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
kind of
yeah. It
cool.
could be like a TINDER.
Yeah,
Yeah. That could be really
TINDER
cool.
shirt, exclusive one of one TINDER shirt.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, so we import the database at this point, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to say database
Mm-hmm.
dot, right? This is where the magic happens, right? So we say database dot collection, right? Collection was is referring to, so if you open up Firebase on the right, this will be a really nice visual representation of what we're about to do here. So Kazi, if you go to Firebase on the right,
Yep.
so open up Firebase, and now we can see that we have the no, so go to the collection.
Yep.
So
Okay, hold
show
on. Let me
the
expand it
collection.
real
So,
quick. Yep, right here. Add comment.
so
You
you
mean
can
add
see,
document?
no. So you can see here, guys, what we're doing is we're going to go to database. We're going to go to the people collection, and then basically I want to listen
Uh-huh.
to whenever anything changes inside of that collection. So I want to
So,
basically go ahead and grab all of the documents and attach a listener so that if anything ever changes,
yep.
it's going to give me that new document, right? So if something gets added to it, it's going to give me the new information. If something
Oh,
gets
yeah.
deleted, it's going to give me the new information, right?
So let me actually highlight that.
So people, you can see it in that little
Yeah, I'm gonna
snack
click
bar. Yeah,
people. Yep. So right now
there
he's
we go.
selecting people by doing this. So that's when he says this people collection, he's getting access to that entire document, that entire collection of people. So in this case, right now it's Elon Musk, it is
Yep,
Jeff Bezos, and then it's Naz Domansky.
exactly. This is exactly that. So we're going to go ahead and say collection people, and then what we're going to say is on snapshot, right? So on snapshot is going to be your best friend, and it's a really, really powerful thing. And basically what it's saying is go ahead and listen to, or like imagine like it's you literally grab a camera and you take a picture of the database, right? So you take a
Yeah.
picture of the database and it's going to give you back all of the documents inside of a snapshot, right?
Yep.
So when we now have that snapshot with all of the documents inside of it, what I want to do is I basically want to say snapshot.docs. So I'm basically saying with that snapshot,
It's like,
get the
yo, get me
documents.
literally all of these. In this case, it's literally these three. Okay, so right now, this will get you all three of those, and then you can loop through it after.
Exactly. So we're going to say snapshot.docs.map. So we're going to say go through every single one, go through every single doc, and basically get me the document data and return it to me, right? Now, the
Yep.
document data is a function.
Document data is this, guys. So if I click inside of here, document data will be this. It will be this object that we get back here. Name is Jeff Bezos, and then the URL. Okay, so
Exactly.
that's what it will simplify to.
Exactly. So it'll be those two things. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and wrap this entire thing inside of set people. And what this magic line of code does is it's basically saying, right? So anytime the database changes, take a picture of it, right? So on Snapshot, it's always going to be listening, right? So take a picture of it, send me the new document. So here is where the magic happens right here in this line. So we say snapshot.docs.map. It's going to go through all of the documents that came back with that new sort of snapshot, and it's going to set all of that inside of the people array. So instead of pulling it now from here, basically we can actually confidently go ahead and get rid of this and leave this with a blank array. And now, how many of you guys do you think if this works first time, I'll be super pumped, I'll be happy. But now if we go ahead and open up our local host 3000, as in, so open up the local host.
Yep.
Now, if as soon as I hit save, it should refresh.
Dude, that would actually be crazy if that works. So guys, now we're
Yeah.
about to actually just connect straight up to the database. Like, it's going to be pretty freaking gangster. Like, we're literally just pulling all these people real time and going to be populating our app with it. So we don't know if it's going to work right this second, but let's actually try it. If it works, that's pretty freaking gangster.
Yeah, I think if it works, I think it deserves the thumbs up. Nice.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get the app on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as soon as I hit save, so I'm about to.
I should see Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or something like that.
Yep. So it's refreshing.
Oh,
Hey!
somebody even better. Naz Domansky. Hey.
Nice. There we go.
Damn. Should we send this to his mom? Like, what is he doing on Tinder?
Nice, dude.
Wow.
Swipe through it, and you can see like now they've all come through. So and even the name tags, you see that? Naz
Hold
Domansky.
on, dude. That is so cool. So I'm just gonna put the database on the left-hand side, guys. Take a look at this, right? So beautiful. So here we got Naz Domansky. Look at that. He went from an array to a real human being. That is cool. I love that about coding. He went from a URL to an actual person. Now I'm going to swipe, and we are going to get Elon Musk next. Whew.
Nice.
Right here, and take a look at that, Elon Musk.
Yep.
And then next up is going to be Jeff Bezos. So let's swipe right on Elon Musk because we like him. And now we got this guy. Yo.
Amazing.
He's going to be like ranked #1 on TINDER.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be up there.
Who else thinks he kind of looked when he was younger? Like, who else thinks he kind of looked like Kevin Spacey? Like, I feel like he looked like. Do you feel that when he was younger?
Kevin Spacey. Who's Kevin Spacey? It rings a bell. Who's Kevin Spacey?
He used to be in House of Cards, and then he had that controversial stuff happen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine Kevin Spacey shaved his head off.
Yeah. Like, but now he's more badass, because once you get, I think, billions and billions of dollars, you kind of get jacked and bald, and you become very badass. So,
yeah, there's a good meme with it. Yeah. Dope. Okay, so that works really nice, guys. And just to show you a little cool trick now, if we actually keep that open and open up Firebase on the left again. So let's open up Firebase on the left.
Okay, you want me to open it up and put it right here, yeah?
Yeah. Now, if we go to Jeff Bezos, and let's just go ahead and have the app open. So you see his name field, right?
Yeah.
Let's try something. Let's type in.
So it's
Jeff
right.
Bezos.
Boom.
Yeah. Let's type in Jeff Bezos in there.
Right
let's
here?
Type in, and let's just type in Amazon God or something. Yeah.
Amazon God.
Yeah, and guys, watch this. As soon as he clicks update, it will take a snapshot and it will update in real time.
That was insane. Without refreshing, without anything, and it's hosted on /Kazi. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
my
insane,
god,
right?
that is nice. Wow.
So
Future
now...
Kazi. Look at that.
Hey.
Dude, wow. That
Crazy,
is so
right?
cool. Love it. Okay, yeah.
Hero Blessing just said, this thing is becoming interesting, right?
Yeah, hooray.
Right.
I love that.
All right, dope. So there we go. We have it working. Now, what we are going to move on to next is so let's go have a look at our app.js. So I think the next step would be to actually go ahead and build the buttons underneath the Tinder cards, right? So the buttons underneath.
Whoa. Before you go on, let's actually show what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we say buttons, these are the buttons we're going to be building, guys, underneath the Tinder cards.
Yeah.
Because we don't have them right now. If we go to our app, you can see we don't have them right now.
Exactly.
Cool.
So just to clean things up, I'm going to get rid of the H1 which says Tinder cards, and you'll see you'll immediately start looking a bit more like a Tinder app. So there you go, clean. And you see that back shadow, that back box shadow that we added, really nice. Yeah. Okay, so Hisnao Aman says, so now that we've made the use effect, please explain what when a cleanup process is necessary. So really good question. I actually do want to cover this one quickly. So you see here, guys, in a use effect, right? So let's say, for example, here, right? This is actually a really good use case of where we can actually use the cleanup method. So use effect. So this is a listener, right? Which means that every time the database changes, it's going to tell us about that change. But let's say I had like people in here, for example, it's going to keep on attaching a listener every single time this changes, which means that in the end of it, you might have 100 listeners, which trust me, will start to slow down your browser, right? So what they do is on snapshot actually returns us something called unsubscribe. It returns us something called unsubscribe. So you can actually do this. You can say const unsubscribe, right? Now, what you can do with a use effect is so every single time, so let's say people changes, before it's going to re-execute this code, you can make it fire off something called a cleanup function. And the way you do that is you return an arrow function, right? And anything in here, so this is the cleanup, right? So this is what it's called, a cleanup, right? So this is really important, and basically what we can do in here is we can say unsubscribe. So this basically will detach the old listener before. So imagine what happens, right? So let's go through. The first time the component mounts, it subscribes, it starts listening to the database. Perfect. Let's say Kazi swipes and he goes through and he swipes through the person, right? Now the people changed, right? So the people variable got updated, which means that right, you would think it would just go ahead and attach another listener, but no, first we need to unsubscribe and then it will reattach another listener. So that's a
Mm.
perfect example of when we would want to use it. So in this case, it's very good practice just to have it like this. So very good question. And yeah.
So if you guys don't want your app to just break because it'll have like hundreds of listeners or thousands of listeners over time, just make sure you unsubscribe your listeners after they're done listening.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that's confusing about it is that like it's kind of like you're calling the function unsubscribe, but like really what it's doing is actually displaying a snapshot of every single person. That's where like whenever I read that unsubscribe, it would throw me off because I'm like, wait, that's not unsubscribing. That's actually showing and pulling the data from the database. You know what I mean?
So this is going ahead and pulling the data from the database.
Right.
But what actually happens is this is it's a chain of, it's like a promise, right?
Yeah.
But so it's a promise which basically gives you back this, but it also, like after all of that, it gives you back a function which you can store in a variable. So what we are doing is we're actually calling that function, and that would detach the listener in the browser.
Got it.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's that bit there. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and create the swipe buttons, I like to call them, right? So in apps.js, what we can do is let's go ahead, and what we're going to do here is we're going to say underneath the Tinder cards, let's go ahead and create something called the swipe buttons, right? So swipe buttons, right? Now swipe buttons.js. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and create that file. So I'm going to go ahead and create a file called swipe. Oops. I'm going to create a file called swipe buttons.js.
Yep.
Now we're in here and I say RFCE. Oops, wait, RFCE. There we go. Swipe buttons. Now here I'm going to say H2 of saying buttons. Go here. Right?
Oh, nice. Yo, Justin, what's up, man? He's actually a high school friend back when I was actually playing chess. And I used to go to the chess club, and he was there. And he goes, "Damn, I walked into the wrong level of class. Where's 101 at? Loving this though." But seriously,
nice.
yeah, I love that actually. But seriously, real talk, Justin and everybody who's here, even if it doesn't feel like 101, that's okay. It's kind of a weird way to learn like this, but I actually recommend you just build these things with us by literally copying code and like kind of following along, because you will learn a lot more through just a sheer pattern recognition than even just to so much theoretical way of like slowly building up to this. So we know you won't understand a lot of it, but I think it'll just like start giving you a lot of that pattern recognition, which over time will start to make sense.
Exactly. Really good point there. Yeah, like guys, even if you're not following word for word, you'll start to notice the patterns. You'll start to realize the sort of, okay, that's how React works, and that's what React Router is. And then over time, it just gets stronger, that knowledge.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because
Yeah.
you're building real things at the end of the day.
Exactly. And these all can sit on your portfolio, guys, and it really will help you get a job, and it will help you sort of push further in your career. So no loss by doing that.
Yeah.
Nice. So now, oh, nice. Somebody said, Sunny, try RAFCE next time for the React snippet. So if I do this and I do RAFCE, oh, dope.
Nice. It gives you the const that you've been looking for, the arrow functions.
Exactly.
But please, if you're coding with me, don't do that because I like seeing function. This throws me off.
Nice. So we got the swipe buttons here, right? So now what we can do is we go here, but we need to import it. So let's go ahead and import it. So boom, boom. There we go. Imported. And what we can do now is we can say, so you see, it goes behind, right? So let's go ahead and make the code. Oh yeah, so you can see it's actually behind NAS right now. It says a B. Can you see it says like there's a B next to NAS?
Yep.
Yeah,
B,
so we don't
I see that right there.
right? So instead now, because we've got this sort of weird dynamic sort of way of laying things out, we're going to go ahead and follow that same dynamic layout when it comes to the swipe button. So firstly, just to prepare ourselves, let's go ahead and create a swipe buttons.css. So here I'm going to go ahead and create a file and do swipe buttons.css.
Somebody just said TikTok clone for devs, dev talk.
Oh my God, dude, this $1 million ideas today.
Dev talk, TINDER.
TINDER, dev talk. TikTok just got banned in India, so I think we can pretty much swoop in at this point and take over.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that would be amazing to bring all the developers on TikTok.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Nice. So we have swipe buttons.css, right? So we just pulled that in. So now what we're gonna do is we need to set a class name here. So class name of swipe buttons, okay? And then what we're gonna do is so all of the icons that we see in our demo, the ones that we showed you, right? All of them that we saw, we essentially have. Oh,
I'm actually just trying out a few of the stuff that some shortcuts that Naveen is actually suggesting, and I'm like, oh, so he
oh,
said to try SFC. I think is he saying RSFC? I can't find it. And
all
LMR. But okay, keep going. My bad.
oh,
I'll do these
nice.
fun shortcuts later.
Nice. So now, guys, we've got a bunch of different icons, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to save you a bunch of time, so I'm going to actually go ahead and import them all in one go. So at the top, these icons right here, right? These are all those icons that you saw in our demo, right? So at the bottom, these are all the icons that you saw in our demo. Now,
These
what
are,
we're going
hold
to
on, just to be clear, these icons, guys, right there are all the ones at the bottom right here. That's what he's referring to.
exactly, yeah,
Cool.
those are those ones, right?
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is, what I'm simply going to do is, I'm just going to start popping them in, right? So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, boom, we get that one. We're going to have the close. So we have the replay icon, we have the close icon, we have the star rating. So that sort of star icon. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have the heart icon is called favorite icon, and then the sort of lightning icon is something called flash on icon, right? So if I save that
Yeah.
now, what we should see is it'll go behind NAS, but we'll
Mm.
see that the icons actually popped up behind
Ah,
space,
they're there.
right? And if you swipe away a few times, you should be able to see behind it, we get those icons, right?
Yeah.
So what we can do now is firstly we can increase the size of oh no we've actually done that already, so we've gone ahead and gave it a font size of large, right? So what we can do
Mm-hmm.
now is we can actually go ahead and fix that styling of that, the sort of where they should be. So we go into swipe buttons, and here we say target that container which is carrying everything, and basically go ahead and say it's a position fix. So I'm going to give it a fixed position.
By the way, one
So
thing I wanted to say, guys, is Sunny, when are we building we're building the YouTube clone on Wednesday, right?
I think so, yeah. Is it, yeah, Wednesday clone, yeah.
So guys, we're building the YouTube clone this Wednesday, so make sure you mark that on your calendar. It's going to be around 10
Yep.
a.m. Pacific. And then this Thursday, we're actually building the TikTok clone.
Yeah.
So mark that on your calendar as well. Those are two
Yep.
things that I wanted to let you guys know.
Exactly. And guys, there's two big builds right there. So I hope you guys are excited for that. We're definitely being challenged with those two builds. So it'll be some fun right there. So nice. We've got the position fixed. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say bottom, and I'm going to use something called 10 view height. So I want 10% of the screen. I want to push it up by 10% of the screen, right? And then what we're going to say is right now they are sort of tightly chucked together, right? So I'm going to say display flex, which means that they're basically going to still be tightly chunked together, but I'm going to say justify content, and I'm going to say space evenly, right? So space evenly. So what I'll do is actually I'll get rid of this first. I'll do width of 100. So I'll show you guys exactly how this looks firstly. So if I save this now, we should now see that that if we open up so you should now see it's on the bottom left, sorry. Yeah, it's on the bottom
Yeah.
left. And that's because it's right now it's so we've gave it a width of 100, but we've said that everything's next to each other. So what we need to do now is we say display flex,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want to say justify content, and I want them to just space themselves out without telling it anymore. So I'm going to say space evenly. And if I do that, boom.
Woo! Look at that. So, Sunny, on the cheat sheet for
Yeah.
this one, I think we should do like space evenly and have this at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Space evenly. You can have space between. We can show like the different variants of it, which would be awesome. Yeah.
That is clean. Okay, beautiful.
Now, we have that, right? But what we want to essentially do is also have it so that these are all buttons, right? So right now they're not
Yeah.
clickable. Yeah, they're not clickable buttons. So what we need to do now is we actually need to wrap them in something called icon buttons. Remember what we did earlier? So I'm going to go ahead and import that. So
Mm-hmm.
icon button. And what I'm going to basically go ahead and do is go and actually do this. So I'm going to say, I'm going to basically say icon button. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to go ahead and wrap that. Oops. So icon button. And I'm going to wrap that. Now, if I save this first one, right? So I'm going to save that first one. Notice how the first one is slightly different to the rest of them. And it's actually clickable now.
Mm.
So if you actually go ahead and click on the first bottom left link,
Ah, nice.
so that one's actually clickable now, which is nice, right?
Yeah.
Now, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for every single
For
icon
all of
button,
them
right? So,
and wrap them
yeah,
in this icon button. Got it.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll
Mm-hmm.
say icon button, and then I'm basically going to do this. Boom. And what I'm going to do is to save time here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy a snippet where we've done this previously, and I'm going to actually go ahead and also give them all class names which are applicable to each of them, right? So I'll go ahead and explain that now. So I'm going to paste. So now we have the icons, but each one has got an appropriate class name. So we've got the swipe buttons repeat, swipe buttons left for the cross,
Mm-hmm.
right? Swipe button star for the middle one, swipe buttons right for the love heart, and swipe buttons with lightning for the right, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
they're all clickable buttons, but obviously we want to style them more differently, right? So we want every single one to just have a bit more of a different style. So now what we can do is we go into swipebuttons.css, and pretty much we can go ahead and give them the following. So we can actually go ahead and say that, so I want to target all of the swipe buttons, but all of the material buttons, right? So if you actually inspect them and you can actually find the exact CSS class to target, but I want all of those to actually go ahead and have a box shadow, because right now they're just kind of like hard to tell that that's a button. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to say, go to the swipe buttons. And this is the special class that Material UI adds on for all of the buttons, right? So it adds these for all the buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a background color of white, and we need to give it a box shadow. But after the box shadow, I need to say it's important because we need to override Material UI's box shadow. So as soon as I click save, notice the buttons on the bottom right. So boom, they get that nice floating effect, right? Which
Seeing the
immediately tells us,
colors. Like
yeah.
if I
So they
look
get that,
between these two, they're looking great, and that's just
yeah,
one of the big differences I see between the two.
exactly. And now you can see, like, as soon as we do that, like, you actually get this really nice, like, it's a very sudden visual sort of cue as to, like, these are clickable, right? These are actually clickable things, right? So the first one we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and style the first button. So swipe buttons repeat, right, is the left button. And for every single button, I'm going to go ahead and give it a
This is
padding of,
actually pretty awesome. Abhinav says
yep.
I've done Amazon, Netflix, Instagram, COVID-19 tracker, and YouTube thumbnail clones.
Hey, that's amazing, dude. That is
That is a
amazing.
solid portfolio in 1 week.
Yeah. And if you do, guys, if you guys have done that sort of, if anyone else has done that, make sure you do shoot a story on Instagram, tag us in it, and we'd love to see it because that's the easiest way for me and Kazi to go and then actually go ahead and check it out. So our tags are right here. You just need to go shoot a video and then tag us, and we can then have a chat with you guys. So it's always awesome to do that. So yeah, we're going to add a little bit of padding around the first button, and we're going to use 3 view width, which is basically going to say, depending on how big the screen is, only use 3% of that screen, the width, to determine the padding around it, which is really nice. It gives you a really nice responsive design. Now, as soon as I hit save, you notice how the first button got a bit bigger, but the rest kind of squeezed up, right? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, firstly, I'm going to change the color of that button. So I want it to be an orange one because that's the one that they have in Tinder. And I match the colors perfectly. So now you can see it's got a nice orange color to it, right? So it's got a nice orange. And even when you click it, it's got a nice little orange hue. So it gets this nice sort of orange like ripple effect as opposed to what the sort of boring one that we had before. Now, I'm going to do the same for every single one. But so I'm going to copy this in here. Same for every single one, but I'm going to change the colors. So you can see I've copied in a snippet here. So the same for all of them. As soon as I hit save now, watch how the app suddenly gets so colorful. So as soon as I hit that, boom, save. And hey, we get a
Ooh,
nice little
nice.
colorful set of icons, right?
Now it's looking very similar to this app and this app. The only thing I
Exactly.
think is like the drop shadow is a little harder on this one.
Yeah. To be honest, the height in the second build is actually better. So the height's more
Nice.
centered. Yeah. So we actually
Nice.
went ahead
Yeah,
and fixed that. I
agreed.
made it less drastic because the
Love
first
that.
time we did it, we made it a bit aggressive. All right.
Yeah.
So awesome. So now we actually have the buttons complete, right? So the buttons are quite visual, visual cue. We can, if you guys enjoy that, we can actually go ahead and upgrade that in the future to show you how we can code the button functionality. But for this case, we've just done the swiping functionality, and now we're going to focus on what happens when you click the messages icon. So
So
that one
that's
right there.
that's the functionality we're gonna be building right now, guys. Right there. Boom.
Yeah. So what happens when you click the messaging icon, right? So what's our goal here? We want it to essentially have it so that when we click that, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to direct us to another screen. And on that screen, we're going to have it so that you can have that the list of messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first way we do it is we go to app.js. And here we basically we firstly define the root. Okay, so the first root that we're going to have is called chats. Okay, so let's go ahead and say chats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so whenever we go to /chats, we want to have the header, and we also want to have the sort of, rather than saying I'm a chat page, we want to say it. Well, so firstly, let's actually keep it as I'm a chat page. I'm going to show you now how to link that button to that page, right? So I'm going to show you how to link that button to that page. So if we go over to our header right now, so we go to header.js, now we have the icon over here. So the icon is right here.
Yo,
Yeah.
Jose
So
asks, can Sunny, can you change the color passing the prop color to the component?
you can, I believe. The best way to do it is by using something called a Material UI theme. That's the cleanest way to do it. But I think you can do that. Yes, you can also pass it as a prop. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's a few ways you can start with Material UI. So the way that we're going to connect this now is basically we're going to wrap this in something called a link. So it's a capital L link, right? And this link is essentially just going to wrap. So it's going to wrap the icon button. So this is the button for the messaging. So wrap it. And this has a prop called to. And all you got to do here is basically just put in the URL that you want it to go to. Right, so as soon as I do that, it's going to freak out. It's going to say, whoa, 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 you didn't define what a link is. So in this case, all we need to do is go ahead and import it here. So get rid of that. So we say import link from React Router DOM, right, and save it. And now we should be able to see that if once this loads up, so you should not use link in outside of a router. Okay, so this is a good point, right? So if you guys run into this issue, it says you should not be using link outside a router. So if we go to app.js, notice how the header is outside the router. This has to actually be inside the router, right? It has to be a child because then it gets access to all the routing, right? So if I click save now it should stop freaking out now. It should actually work quite nicely. So if I go ahead and refresh, there we go. So now if we go ahead and click that messaging, that top right icon,
Top right icon. Got it.
Yeah.
But the only reason it's not working is because you called it chats, plural.
Oh, yeah. There we
If
go.
I
Yeah.
save it to
Change.
regular chat and I click it, now boom, it goes, I am the chat page.
Perfect. Perfect. Right. So that's a good catch. Nice.
Damn, I don't know how I caught that, but yeah.
Nice. So then what we want to do is we also want to have it so when you click the Tinder icon, it's going to take you back to the homepage, right? So let's have that as well, which would be kind of a neat functionality. So what we're going to do then, and this will show us that this will give you a demonstration as to how we can do routing. So we can do link to, and then we can say /, and then we close it. I don't know why it does that. Yep, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and drop the image tag inside there. So boom, there we go. And now if we save this, so if you go ahead and click on the messaging icon, it will direct us to the messaging spec section. And then you click on the Tinder icon.
It brings us back to the homepage. Nice.
Nice, right? So now we have routing, we have page routing, right? Which is awesome, right? So I guess what we could do here is we're actually going to go a step further. We're going to have you see where it says the profile of a person, right? We're actually going to go ahead and have that change to a back button arrow, right? So it's going to basically be like a back button, right? Now, the way we do this is we basically go ahead and we use a prop. So I'm going to go ahead and go to app.js. app.js, and basically I'm going to move the header now so that it doesn't appear at the default here at the top. I'm basically going to push it in at these 2 points. So just for now, as a demonstration, I'm going to pass it in at this point here. So here, and I'm going to pass it in here. So it's just rendering at these 2 points, right? Now there's a reason why. You can also make it so that it's clean, and you can do it the other way. But for now, we're going to do it like this. And basically, I'm going to say a back button prop is going to basically, so the back button here is going to take you back to /, right? So whenever we use the back button here, it's going to take you back to /. And
So
then here
where's the back button? What back button?
So this is where we're going to implement it. So if you go to the messages,
Uh-huh.
so go to messages, and then here.
Ah,
so
the back button. I see. I see.
Yeah.
When I click messages, it comes up right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we want that, right? Whoa, somebody just donated 10 euros, dude.
Whoa, Max.
Hey.
Holy
Nice.
crap.
Thank you, dude.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Guys, 10 euros. What is happening on this stream? Guys, this is the most donation already that we've ever gotten in our entire life. 25. We were up to at $25. And now with 10 euros coming in hot from Maxus, I think that puts us at like 37 bucks or something.
Yeah.
I mean-
Insane. That's insane.
Damn. Yo, that is awesome, guys. By the way, guys, if you are watching this and you're enjoying this, drop it in the comments below. Let's keep that energy pumping, because I see that little trend dropping down. So I feel like, the energy just needs to be lifted up a little bit. Also, like the video, and we're almost at 25,000 views. This has never happened before.
God. That's
So-
mind-blowing, dude.
Super, super exciting.
Damn it. Oh, Warden says, hello, Sunny and Kazi. I'm from the Philippines. Oh, no. Yeah. So the Nightbot, sometimes, we have an automated bot, guys. Sometimes it will delete your messages if you use too many capital letters. So try to stay under that.
Yes, please.
Okay, so now we have the header, right? So what we're going to do now is we go back inside of header.js. What we need to do is go to the, we're actually going to pass in a prop. So we passed in that prop previously. So here's where props goes, but we can use ES6 to destructure props at this point and say, go and get the back button, right? So go and get the back button. And what we can say here is we can do something very clever here now. We can say, if, so firstly we need the back arrow icon, right? So the back arrow icon, I'm going to go ahead and import. It's this one right here. So this is the arrow back icon. And what we're going to say now is I'm going to say some JSX. I'm going to say if there was a back button that we passed in as a prop, then render this. So render render this, right? So render the arrow back icon. Right?
Okay, got it. So you basically are saying, so hold on. What are we overall trying to do? Like if we're on the messages, then render back button. Otherwise, just keep it the person icon.
So it's not if we're on the messages. It's saying if you passed in a back button prop. So in this case, you see here, we passed in a back button prop.
Oh.
When we're inside this root.
I see. Yeah. We passed it.
This one doesn't have it, right?
Nice.
And then that way it knows. So you could do this, and then basically we're going to say at this point, we just want to have this one here. So
that's kind of cool that we're using like a if condition to render this. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very clean way of doing it. And I will just clean this up for you guys in 1 sec. So Prettier will do its job now. There we go. So now it's saying if there's a back button, then do this. So if the back button prop has been passed in, do this. Otherwise, do this, right? Now, what we need to do is if we pass in the back button, we want it to actually go back to the page that we said, right? We want it to go back to that page. So how do we actually implement that? So React Router DOM. So React Router actually gives us a very nice thing over here called use history. So use history hook. And what this does is it gives us the browser history. So what we say const history equals use history forward open parentheses close, right? So it gives us this. It gives us the browser history, right? And what we can do is we can say, and when I mean the browser history, guys, I don't mean your entire browser history. I mean like your session. So like how if you went forward and back a couple of times, that history, right? So now what we can say is we can say on click, And then here, I'm going to do an anonymous, like an arrow function. And then I'm going to say history dot replace. So I'm saying replace all the, like the history with the back button URL. So the back button URL. Now, this will make a lot of sense now when we actually demo it. So what's freaking out here? I think everything's fine. Yep. So now if we go
Nice,
to,
it's working.
hey, look at that. Clean, right?
Wow. Yeah, so look at this, guys. This switches between person, and then it switches between that other, the other back button. So I'm gonna click here, boom, right there. Go home. Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's a really clean way of doing it, guys. And that's actually going to give you a very, very nice UI user experience.
Luana Feso says, I love the way you guys make your content to even allow babies to follow along. That is the goal. That is the goal. Because I go to so many live streams and I watch so much content, even on React, and like it doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, I'm a developer and I'm watching React.js tutorial or live stream. If it doesn't make sense to me, there's something wrong. And so I'm like, yeah, I want to make it as... What's up?
Naveen Raja just gave 20 euros, dude.
What?
Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Thank you, dude.
Good talking to you. I'm closing my laptop. Thank you for coming here. Oh, that would actually be bad if I did that, because the whole stream would end.
I was like, because you don't close it.
Yeah, that would actually be so awful. Jesus. Naveen, yeah, guys, that's 20 euro. I mean, I don't even know. The chat revenue is like 50 or something now. Guys, seriously, thank you. This is insane. Your guys' love is just, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so cool. He says, this is so cool, guys. When I started my career, this is what I was missing. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you so much, dude. You are welcome.
Wow. Yeah, and that's Naveen, because, yeah, and he seems like he's a developer and he currently has a job. But yeah. Naveen would love to even have you on the Skype call. If you ever want to jump on, just, I think it's Kazi_115, something like that. So you can Skype me. You can hit me up on Skype there.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. Right, so guys, we showed two ways of routing. We had the link to, and we also had the on-click with the history.replace, right? So that's pretty much the two ways that you can do it. So we've showed that now. So let's go ahead and build the chats.js, right? So the chats.js. So if we go into app.js, I'm actually going to change it. So now it's not very cool to say I am the chat page when we're on the chat page. It's sort of like, it's ugly. So I'm going to create something here called chats. So it's just going to be a component called chats. This is why I love React. It's super clean. It's really nice. Like you don't have to worry about very high. Look at this, guys. High view, so clean. Like it's so clean. You can see exactly what's going on. It's such a high view. Just render the chats. That's it, right?
I love that.
It's just so clean. Like I can never get over that. So we're going to create a new file now called chats.js. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is do RFCE. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, are you going to call it chats or chat?
No, so this one we're going to call chats. Reason being is because I'm going to actually have several chat components inside of it, which are going to resemble the rows.
Got it.
All right. So if we go ahead and look at the demo, you'll see.
Okay.
So, so let's go ahead. So we've got the chats here. Mm-hmm. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to say, so chats is not defined. So we go over here and we say import. Okay, so it still doesn't work. It's really annoying. So I'm going to import chats from chats. And now here, I'm going to actually start coding up what the chats are going to be. So remember, guys, always stick to your BEM conventions. So here we say class name equals chats. Nice. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to actually go ahead, and while we're doing this, just go ahead and create the CSS file. So we're going to say chats.css. There we go. And I need to create that file. So chats.css, boom. And we should pop into that file in a sec. There we go. Nice. So we've got that there. And now what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to create. So what I'm envisioning here is that rather than having like the same code again and again and again and again and again, we kind of have something like this. We have like a chat, right?
Yeah.
A chat, like a sort of chat. Oops. a self-closing chat component, but it will take something like this. It will take a name. In this case, we could say like the name is like, let's just say like Mark, for example. The message could be something like, yo, what's up? Oops. Yo, what's up? The timestamp could be something like 40 seconds ago, right? The profile picture could be whatever it could be. Like we could figure out what the profile picture was, right? It could be a URL. Now, at this point, you would have a message, you'd have the name, you'd have a message, you'd have a timestamp and a profile picture, and then this should just render out the row. So if we go ahead and open up our app, Kazi, if we just go and open up our app.
What do you mean? The one we built already?
Sorry, yeah, I got, it looks so much like the actual app that I forgot. So we go to this one. So yeah, but we go.
What is this guy doing? Just busting my balls for no reason.
If we go to the one that we built though, so the one that so the other one,
the one that's hosted online.
Yeah, and then we go to the messages.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can see now we have 4. So if we go back a level, so we have 4 chat components. Does that make sense? And we're passing different props in.
But this is just one component, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So you see what we're doing here, right?
So this is going to be the chat component that we're building right now.
Yes.
So why is it called chats? That's what I'm not understanding. Like, isn't it just one component, like product, and then you just keep, like chat, and then this is 1, and then this is 2, or did we also call products?
You could call it anything really. In this case, we could call it chat row maybe, because this is going to be chat row, and then the actual chat. What I had chat, and then I actually had chat screen was for when you're on the chat screen. Right?
Okay, got it.
This is all down to preference, guys. Like
that's fine. That's fine. This is all good. Keep it. That's all good.
Yeah. So here we could do this.
But basically, the component that we're building, chats, is going to be this thing right here. That's what chats is going to be.
Exactly.
Okay, and then everywhere we call this like one word chats, we'll have either Ellen thing show up or Sandra thing show up, right?
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and copy the snippet of code which had basically all of those props in, right? So this we haven't created this chat component yet. We haven't created it.
Yeah, awesome. Naveen says, definitely Kazi and Sunny. I'm working part-time right now and was having a part-time break. Yeah, because I saw his message just a little bit earlier, and I think he's a professional developer who's working, and he's like, I took a break and I was watching the stream. You guys made me happy. Thank you so much. And then Emerson.
Whoa, Frank just dropped $25, dude.
What? Where? I don't see it. Whoa.
Thank you, dude. This is crazy.
What? It's at $86 and like going. What?
Oh,
bro, maybe we just fucking live stream and that's it. We don't even worry about anything else. Somebody also dropped $5. Emerson did. It says Pen 5. I don't know what that means. I don't know what currency that is. Pen 5. But thank you. But he says React.js and AWS Amplify. Greetings from Peru. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
Jesus, Frank. Hit us up. Hit me up on Instagram. That would be great. I would love to have you guys even come on on the show and jump in here.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Definitely. Okay, so we have the props here. That's amazing. Thank you so much, dude. So we have the 4 chat components with different props that have come up. And then we have, so this component isn't built yet, right? So let's go ahead and build that. So let's create a chat.js. So let's go ahead and do chat.js. Chat.js. And this is going to be for each of those rows, right? So each of the rows that we spoke about. So we're going to do RFCE. Boom. There we go. Chat. Okay. And here, what we can do is remember.
Wait, so there is a chat.js and then there's a chats.js?
Yeah, so chats is the one. So chats is the view you're looking at. Right?
That's what I was trying to get at. So chats is what? This entire box?
Yes, exactly. And then the chat to the rows.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But this is a component, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're not really going to be reusing this component.
Yeah, so this is a good example, guys, of even if you're not reusing something, still build everything in a component-based fashion.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
because
speed
literally,
alone. For speed
yeah,
alone.
and it's a really good point Kazi brought up, guys, is literally if you have this situation, yeah, what we tend to do is we actually kind of have it as chats. We usually have a pages folder instead, and that would be called like the chat screen or chats page, if that makes sense. And then you'd have a components folder, and that would be the chat component. Like you can make it very sort of clear in that sense, right? But let's carry on. So we've got the chain, so we've got the chat.js. So here now what we're going to do is that took 5 different props, right? So that took
Hmm.
5 props. They took the following. So we had the following props inside of there. We had name, message, profile pic, and timestamp, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Now, inside of there, what we're going to do is we're basically going to have the following. So we're going to say, firstly, we're going to do BEM. So we're going to have div class name equals chat. And then what I'm going to say is inside of here, I want to actually have the following. So I want to have so I'm going to have
Oh,
and I actually want to,
by the way,
yeah.
Frank says he's a longtime native app developer, but all my new work is now React and React Native. And he goes,
Hey.
this and the IG clone helped me kickstart my MVP for an app called Million Fans.
Oh, Frank, he actually sent me an email.
Really?
Nice. Yeah, he sent me an email. Oh my God, this is the same guy. Nice, dude. Yeah, he
And,
sent me an email and he
and
he said the exact same thing. Like he's built it
dope.
helped him build his MVP for an app called Million Fans.
And his Instagram is actually at Francisco. That. So you
Yeah.
guys check him out. He seems like an awesome person, and he's a developer. So you guys can probably connect with him and learn a bunch as well. And
Yeah.
as he launches this app, maybe we can like go in and actually give that app 5-star reviews and things like that, just to support our community.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Vishal S just dropped another donation. Thank you so much, dude.
Jesus.
Holy crap, this is insane.
Wow. Thank
Nice.
you, guys. Thank you,
Thank
Vishal.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice.
All
Awesome.
right.
So now what we're gonna do is, guys, you see on the left we have those like we have Sarah, Ellen, Sandra, and
Uh
Natasha.
huh.
Like they all have like a circle image right now. We could do
Yep.
that
So
in
now
Photo.
to just to be very clear, chat is gonna be this component right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So
Yeah.
now every time I do chat, like Ellen will come up. Okay. Cool. Got it.
Yeah, so we really want it to be just about that sort of that circle, right? Oh no, sorry, so the component, right? So now instead of hard coding that sort of circle and doing all the work around how do you get the radius to be a circle and stuff like that, we can
Yep.
use Material UI. And Material UI gives us something called an avatar, right?
Mhm.
Now avatar makes our life a lot easier. So basically, what we can do is we can import it like this. So we just say import avatar from Material UI core avatar, and then what we can do is we can actually go ahead and do the following. So we can say, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it in here. So I'm going to say push an avatar here. So an avatar with a class name of chat image. The alternate tag should be not, it should be name. So basically they're very clever here. So what it will do is it will take the name. So let's say it was Rafe Kazi and it will
Mhm.
show an RF, right? If you don't have a,
I see what you're saying. So okay, I'll let me draw that out. So this is pretty cool. So how he's using this also, it's like if you have an icon, right? Normally it will show your face right here. But if that face is not there, then you might want to just have it show your initials or something. So for me, it might just be RQ. So you guys have probably seen even on your iMessages app on your iPhone, you'll see that next to people's faces, if you don't have their profile picture, it'll actually just say something like this. That's what we're trying to do right
exactly,
now.
exactly. Yeah, exactly that. That's a really good explanation. Yeah, it's like the iMessage stuff, right?
Hmm.
So what we're doing now is I'm actually going ahead and importing it into chat so it doesn't break. So now what we can see is if we go ahead and check, right now I'm actually passing in a profile picture for everyone, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to deactivate that one. And we should see if we open up our app now, so the one that we're running locally, we can
Yep. Give me one
see.
second. You want me to? Okay. I'll open that up right here.
Yeah, we should be able to see. So it says name at the moment, but name we do. Oh yeah, I need to save it. Oops, there we go. Let's save it. So now we should see if you go to messages.
Uh-huh. Ooh,
Right. There we
nice.
go.
So the
Right.
chat
So the,
component is actually starting to load. So actually, let's just compare them against each other. So the component is loading,
yeah.
but the Sarah one is not doing that thing we wanted to do right now, right?
Yeah, so it's strange. It's not doing the thing that we exactly wanted it to do. But if I would just want to test it, I can just say something like, let's say Rafe Kazi, and let's just save it. Let's see how that handles and see what that does. So interesting. Doesn't seem to do it. So I think at this point there is a prop that I might be passing in incorrectly, but we can go ahead and check that out at a different time. But I think
Yeah,
it might
that's
be.
okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to say the source is the profile picture, right? So if I go
Yeah.
ahead and put that picture back, we'll actually go ahead and we'll have everyone back in there. So um, there we go. That should be, yep, there we go. Nice. We've got that, right? Now what we want to do is we want to have the name and the message that they sort of sent. So here what we can say is I want to have it sort of containerized. So I want to have three sort of children here. So I want to have so if I create a div, and I'm going to put inside this div, I'm going to have a h2, and I'm going to have the name. So I'm going to have like whoever it was, and I'm going to have a message underneath it in a p tag. So here I'm going to have a p tag. So if we go ahead and save this, now we should see an update and we should see some stuff. Okay, that's clean. And then let's have outside of that, let's have a timestamp. So let's go ahead and say this is where the timestamp will go. Okay. So now we have three children. We have this div, and then we have this as a third child. Okay. So now we need to get this to look exactly as we had it previous in the other section, right? So how do we get that to work in the way that we need it to? We can
So
basically go ahead. Yep.
okay, so it's looking similar. So basically, so far we need just so we can have a clear roadmap what's happening. The 35 minutes ago, we'll probably need to go over here, kind of like how we got it there.
Yep.
Okay, I'll probably the text color I feel like needs to change a little bit and become a little not as dark black, right? A little bit lighter.
Yep. Exactly.
The 35 minutes ago is even lighter. It's like almost like fading.
Yep.
And I don't know, I don't do much CSS, so I'm just like calling it out kind of
No, this is
visually how I'm
perfect. That's literally perfect. Yeah. And even the spacing from the sides, you see it's not exactly touching the side.
yeah, exactly, because here it's like touching and it's super tight, so like the spacing needs to change. The image size I feel like is the same, right?
Yep.
And then got it, and then there's like bunch of space right there, padding or something, margin right around here.
Yep.
And yeah, and it seems like it also doesn't run across all the way, it only runs to here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's got some like padding around the entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the guys, is that clear for you? What we're like, how we're going from here to here? Like, I think I kind of understand what we're up to now.
Yeah. That's awesome. Nice.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is before we actually go ahead and start that, let's give things that we need to sort of target appropriate class names so that way we can target them. So here we're going to go ahead and say this is the chat details because it will basically have the name and the message, right? Here I want to give this one the class name. So I'm going to say this is a class name of timestamp. So it's going to be chat timestamp, right? And that is actually should be everything that we need. So we have the chat image, the chat details, and the chat timestamp. Okay, nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the, we need to create a import. So we're going to do import.
We got 2 new donations, by the way. Super chat. Thank you guys so much for that.
Oh,
So Nafil
nice.
is 1. Appreciate that. And then Miha Space Gamer, actually HRK10, which is Croatian money. So thank you from Croatia.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. Now what we want to do is we have the, we need to create the CSS. So chat.css here. So we pull that in and then we do chat.css. So we're going to pop into that file now. There we go. So now we need to style it, guys. So we've added all the sort of class names that we wanted. So here's where the magic happens. So now what we're going to do is if we have it open next to it, we can see like how every sort of thing is going to affect it in real time, which is going to be really nice, right? So here I'm going to do dot chat, right? Dot chat, and then we're going to say display.
Oh, that's sick how we're doing this right now, by the way. This is like every CSS course I wish I had.
Literally, and this is going to show you guys perfectly like as it does it, and it's going to do hot reloading and show you everything as it does it. So display flex is going to do the following. So it's going to push everything next to each other, right? So there we go. Really, really nice way of doing that is display flex. Then we say align item center, right? And this will actually get this will pull everything central along the horizontal axis. So
basically the spacing thing.
No, this one will actually get the timestamp to drop inline, so everything will become centered along the horizontal axis. So as soon as I hit
wait. Okay, hit it now.
So if I undo that, you'll see. You see that
something.
It pulls everything in the row to that center. So and even the image came down, right?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then the next one we're going to do is we're going to say justify content space between. So space between.
Yep.
And now if I save that.
Ooh, another cheat sheet moment. Space between.
Yeah. So you're getting much more. So it's already starting to get quite nice here.
So now I'm curious how you kept this more towards the left side.
Yeah. So that's actually a really good point. That's coming. That magic's coming. So what we can do is we can say padding should be 20 pixels around
this
the entire
is
row.
is what this is. So that happens, that little space on the left side of the photo.
Yep.
Woo! Exactly. That is looking clean, bro.
It's good, right? And this is super clear for everyone. And guys, if you find this sort of demonstration useful, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button, because that really is like, we can definitely do this more often, because I find this is actually super useful.
This is actually, crazy. I mean, I'm being blown away, but Elizabeth in the chat is like, CSS is my biggest nightmare. And she goes, thank you for this. And then she also goes, any tips with grid / flex are welcome.
Oh yeah, grid. I mean, we should definitely do some videos on grid soon, because even I'm sort of using grid a lot more now.
And this 20 pixel, by the way, guys, I'm garbage with CSS and front end, but this 20 pixels is like 20 in every direction, right? It's like freaking 20 in south, east, west, north. It's like 20 width, height, all of that. 20 bottom, top, left, and right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
And then now we're gonna do the height. We're going to say is 70 pixels. So I'm going to give a height of 70 pixels, and that should space them out a bit more. So you can see the
nice.
height.
We actually had somebody enroll in Profit with Python right now.
Oh,
awesome.
I saw, my phone pinged. Nice.
Yep. Beautiful.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to add a border bottom. So this one's going to be super difficult to see, but they actually have it on the app, right? So it's a very light gray. So it's a very, very subtle gray. And then you actually couldn't see that pop in too well, but if I go ahead and make it red, you'll be able to see it. So I actually added a line there, but it's actually a super subtle gray.
So we want to make it this like really subtle gray here. Can you guys tell that it's like this really light gray?
Really hard to tell. I mean, what we could do is we could try.
I'll zoom in like insane. I mean, now they should be able to tell.
Yeah. If I do a light gray, you see it's too dark, right? Like it's just
it doesn't too dark.
Yeah, so that subtle gray is gonna make a difference. So
there we go. Nice. So, dude, front end is so crazy. Like how it goes from like looking like crap, like I kind of never want to use it, to like all of a sudden all I want to do is like click on it.
Exactly, it's crazy, right? Like so now a good point Kazi brought up earlier is that we have, how do we get where it says Sarah and the message, where it says Ellen the message, where it says Sandra the message? How do we get that to take up the majority of the space, right? So that's a main reason as to why we wrapped those two things inside of something called chat details. So we got a div and we wrapped it in chat details. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is say chat details flex 1, and what this will say is give that container precedence. So it's saying give that container like the most weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now if I do that, boom.
Whoa. Wait, hold on. Undo that. I want to
So if
see what I want to just see what the hell happened.
So if I undo
You can
that,
comment the whole thing if you want. Okay.
right?
So
So
wait,
imagine what's
wait,
happening.
hold on. Only this thing has the details thing on it, the details class or whatever, the
Yeah,
chat details.
that's a container exactly with chat details.
But that container doesn't have. No, that container has all of this, right?
No, so if we look back at
Uh
the
huh.
chat.js, so you've got
Okay.
chat, then you've got
Yeah.
chat image,
Wait.
chat.
Okay. Chat
So
details is name and message, and that's okay. Name. Okay, hold on. Before you continue, so
yeah,
chat details is basically these two things right here. Exactly these two
yeah,
things right there, right?
yeah, exactly. Now, guys, the reason why I did that is because if I get
Ah.
rid of this container, I'll show you what happens, right? Then we have 4 children inside of the chat container, right? Which
Okay.
means
Okay.
that look what happens now. So you now get a row.
Ooh, that is
Yeah,
not
that
nice. Yeah, we don't want
exactly.
this.
So what we do is we bundle those 2 items into its own container, and then they abide by the flex rules, and
So
we get that.
go back. Okay. So I got what chat details is. Now go back to the CSS or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, and now you did flex 1. So what the hell does that do? So that
Yeah.
takes this thing and what makes it as long as it needs to be, you said?
So
Gives it a
imagine what happens now is each of those. So the first, imagine there's 3 children in each row. The picture, that chat details, and then the timestamp, right?
So okay, whoa, before you continue. So this is
Yeah.
child 1, this is child 2, and then this is 3. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what we have is, so we have one. Somebody just said your live stream is already #1 in YouTube. Oh crap!
Whoa, are you serious?
Holy crap! We might be going.
Yeah, because we're at 27,000 views, so that is amazing.
Damn it, dude!
And over
That's
$93
insane.
in chat revenue. That means multiple shirts as giveaways for you guys.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
That is
Uh,
beautiful.
all right, so we have the flex. So right now we have those 3 things, right?
Uh
And we
huh.
said space between them, right? So it's
So
gonna
this is
determine
so
space
okay.
between
Hold
them.
on. So this is happening because of space between. So I will just do SB. Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh huh.
right. So space between.
Yep.
Right? Now, if I do flex 1, imagine what's going to happen is the chat details. I'm applying flex 1 to the chat details, right? So
Yep.
what's going to happen is it's going to push as much room as it can and take up as much room as it can. So imagine the whole
For the
container is
chat detail. So basically we're saying give higher priority to chat details, which is the second child, and
Yeah,
make it take as much of the room as it can.
exactly.
So we're basically, so it looks like what I circled is, it looks like this, but it's actually taking up all this room here. So if I go, this is still the second one, this is 1, and then this is 3 right there, right?
Yep.
So
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. So this shows you after we apply flex 1.
so before it was actually, before applying flex 1, it was actually like this. Then after applying flex 1, it actually becomes this big thing.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay.
You see it? That's
Yeah.
a really nice visual way of showing it. Yeah, that's awesome. And then like now, if I go ahead and if I uncomment it, watch how it snaps and it takes up as much room as it can.
This is awesome. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this literally for
One
my.
sec. Let me undo it and then you can do it. So there you
Whoa!
go. There you
You ruined my screenshot.
go. Now try it. There you
All
go.
right, cool. I got the screenshot. I'm gonna drop it in my Slack just so I have it. Actually, I'll drop it in both of our Slack so we have it.
Nice.
Cool.
Right. So the next step, guys, is we're gonna use that, but then you see the spacing is kind of off, right? So
Yeah, people are saying like this is wow, this is amazing. Maurice is saying
yeah.
I think they're really enjoying the visuals.
Amazing. Love that. So
Yep.
now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to say that the chat image should have a margin right of 20 pixels. So to the right of the image, push it 20 pixels. So, oh no. So let me unsave that. So keep the app up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I save it, so I'm going to put in margin right of 20 pixels, and there we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, oh, Prasad said, "Sir, it's true. Your team is gods of gods. Hats off, sir. Hey, love that."
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
And then what we're gonna say is that so now we're gonna show you how you can target something slightly different in CSS. So we're gonna say inside the chat details,
Mm-hmm.
target the first child, which is
Whoa,
a
what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we doing
yeah.
this? Hold on, before we continue. What's happening?
So what we're doing here is you see where it says, "Hey, how
Oh,
are you? What's up?"
we're trying to make it like lighter?
Yeah, we're trying to make it lighter.
Got it. Okay, so visually what's happening is I'm gonna select this guy here, chat details,
Yeah,
and then within this guy I'm going to select, hey, how are you?
exactly.
Okay, so
But because it's a p tag, yeah,
got it. So chat details gets me access to that higher level thing, and
yeah,
then the greater than sign, and then P basically says, hey, get me the P tag, which is this guy here.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool, beautiful, got it.
Perfect, right? And then if I do Command S, I mean save, so boom, there we
It's
go.
so crazy. It's like I get it what you're saying, and so
Yeah,
that's how I'm able to then draw out the visual. But once
yeah,
I see the visual is actually when I really get it for the first time.
yeah. No, it's true. And honestly, like when you're doing these visuals, I think it's benefiting so many people right now because yeah, it's really gonna help. And guys, just worth noticing that that little crocodile sign, the one next to the P tag, is saying it has to be a direct child, right? So Steve McCarty added that really good comment. It has to be a direct child, which means it has to be right inside of that container, the first child of that container, right?
Yep, exactly.
Right. So next we're going to say the chat timestamp. So you see where it says 35 minutes ago. It's slightly dark right now, right? So I haven't
Yep.
saved this line yet. So
Uh
as soon
huh.
as I click save, the timestamp where it says 35 minutes ago is now going to become that light gray.
Just like that one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as
Hit
soon
save.
as I click save, boom.
Boom. Unsave and save. Do it a few times.
So unsave and save. There we go.
Nice. Okay. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Clean.
Yeah. So there we go. That's really, really nice. And that works pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. So now we actually have finished there. So the
Yeah,
one
I
thing I
think the
would
front end of
actually,
that is done.
yeah, so I think that's done. Yeah, awesome. We need to actually have it so that each of these are clickable right now, yeah? So two questions here. One, how do we make it clickable? We use something called React Router. We use that same link that we used earlier. Second thing is, where does it go to? What URL does it go to, right? So what we're going to do is we're firstly going to define what URL it goes to. So here
By the
I'm
way,
going to
guys,
define.
just real quick, if you guys are enjoying this, let us know in the comments below. Let's keep the
Yeah,
energy moving. Every time I see a drop, I just want to come in and make sure all your guys' energy is high, because that's how you're going to be able to retain all this. So energy up. If you need to stand up, stand up. If you need to grab water, go do that right this second. Come right back. But guys, we're almost at the finish line. You're gonna see the entire completed version, right? And it's going to
yeah,
be very satisfying to be able to see how this entire app is built. So just don't lose sight of what we're actually working on. We're almost there. So keep the energy there. Smash the like button so we can actually just keep breaking this YouTube algorithm. We are at 28,000 views. And just drop a comment below, and keep the energy going. So thank you, guys.
yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, guys, for the support, and all of you guys who have been there for most of the video. Like, appreciate you guys so much.
Seriously, so
Yeah,
damn much. Thank you.
nice. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the third route, right? So this is gonna be the route where when you're on that chat screen and you click one of those rows,
Uh-huh.
you're actually gonna go into that chat, right? So you're gonna go inside of that chat. So
Yep,
here, for example, when you click that, it's going to go inside of that chat. So
that's
what
right.
we need to do is I'm going to define a route. So, oops, so what I'm going to do is to make life easier, I'm going to copy this route, paste it, and I'm going to change this one now. So it will have a header. inside of that. But this one won't go back to the home screen. It'll go back to the chat screen.
Wait, what? Wait. Okay, so what's happening? Okay. So just to be clear, so when I'm in chat and I'm in Ellen, then when I hit this back button right here, it shouldn't take me to the home screen, right? It should take me back. Got it. So if I hit this, back to chat. Cool.
Exactly.
And if I hit back,
so we're going to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what we're going to do is the actual path, right? So when we're on that Ellen conversation, that path, we actually want to have a dynamic wildcard here. And what I mean by that is I want anything to be able to go in front of here, and this would be a valid URL, right? So this could say Ellen, this could say Sandra, this could say Mark, this could say Jeff, right? It doesn't matter at this point, but I want that to be a wildcard. So here, what I could say is I could say person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this little colon represents a wildcard. So it's saying like any value can go here, and that would be a valid URL. So now,
so let's take a look at what's happening here. So if I go into some person, it actually says /chat/Ellen. Got it.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is really nice. And it also gives like a very clean feel, right? So now what I can say is just to test it, we can say HTTP and say it works, right?
Nice.
So now if we go over to say /chat and say let's just do /Sunny or something.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice. It says it works right here at the bottom.
Awesome. Right?
Can I use that person variable right here?
You can. How we extract it would be easier to show inside of in a component.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man, I'm gonna butcher this name, but I'm gonna give it a try. Melilani says, "You guys are amazing, guys. You are amazing, guys. I probably wouldn't have started this journey without all your inspiration. And no developer on YouTube is putting massive content like you guys. Thank you so much, but really our goal right now is just to provide as much value as humanly possible for however long we do this. We've completely changed the standards for ourselves. We're not even looking at what other people are doing, but we've changed our standards to what if we just did it the best anybody has ever done it and just provided the most amount of value in the developer world and produced the most developers on the planet. I think that'd be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, 100%. The fact that we've already getting so many people coding, that's enough of a thank you for us, that we can see, we love that, guys, and we love that you guys are enjoying this and finding value in it.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So now, guys, we have this chat / person, and it worked, right? Obviously, we don't want to show the chats again. We want to actually show a chat screen. So in this case, rather than saying it works, I'm going to render a chat screen here, right? So this is going to be the actual chat screen, right? So we're going to render a chat screen. So I need to actually go ahead and create that. So chat screen.js. Here. Yep, there we go, chat screen.js. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and firstly import that. So go here, boom. Let's just quickly change this to chat screen and save. And then we go to chat screen and then we'll do RFCE because we love that little trick. And then there we go. Now we have the chat screen, right? So the chat screen is going to be the screen that you guys saw earlier.
Wow, it looks nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be that screen that we saw earlier. Hey, expected an error? Oh, nice. Yeah. So now, this is going to be the chat screen. So if we do H2, say, I was about to type in error. Chat screen. So now we should see that chat screen pops up on that page, right?
Nice.
Which is
okay.
awesome, right?
And so the chat screen is this screen that we're trying to build right now, yeah?
Exactly that, yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. So we want to get to that point. And so now what we can do is firstly, let's go ahead and apply some class. So we need to do the class name. Let's just say chat screen. That's always our sort of go-to habit we want to form. And then the second step now is we actually need to build that chat screen. So here, what we've done is we actually need to, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft it out, right? So firstly, I'm going to say, we're going to have some piece of we need to keep track of the messages that are going to come in, right? We need to keep track of like if it says if Ellen sends a message or if something like that, we want to see who's actually sending that message in, right? So at this point, what we can do is we can say const, and we can say messages, and we can say set messages. So I'm just creating a piece of state here to keep track of the messages that are being sent back and forth. And we're going to have an empty, we're going to have an array here, right? Now, each message is going to be an object. It's going to have the user's name. So we can have the user's name. So in this case, let's say Alan. It's going to have the image of the user. So this could be the source of the image. And it's going to have a message. So in this case, it could say like, what's
Why do
up?
we need the name of the
Oh, so we could actually pull the name from, but I'm trying to mimic what the database, what you would actually be pulling in, you know?
okay.
Like, because
I mean, I was
this,
just asking because we don't show name anywhere in the chat screen, right?
oh yeah, we don't actually show the name. Or we do kind of, because it says you matched with Ellen.
Ah, okay. Got it.
You see? But you're right. Actually, there we can actually grab that from not the message. So yeah, at this point, we could get rid of this. Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, no. Okay, so not yet.
That's fine. Just
Keep
leave
on
it, because it seems like we are using it, so that's great.
Yeah. So here what we could do is we could just have something like this, and yep, so what's up? And then we could have another message saying, let's just do this. And then here it could be something like, what have we got on the other one? We've got, how's it going? So how's it going? Yeah, and then we've got another message. So what I'm going to do is just to show a demonstration here, guys. This is going to be pure. We're going to show you like a sort of a mock of how you can pretty much get it to a point of you can style like the difference between a sender and a receiver. So if you're the person sending it or if you're not, show you the logic of how you can do that. So let's imagine if it was you. You're not going to have the name and image. You're just going to have the message. So this is going to be the messages from Ellen, but this is going to be the message from you, right? And at this point in time, it's just 3 objects, and they're just all of them resemble messages. 2 of them have the name and the image, and one of them just doesn't have anything. It just has the message itself. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, firstly, I'm just going to go ahead and actually get an image, so that way this makes a bit more sense. We can go ahead and do this. So that's a huge image for Ellen. So we can do that. Okay, perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually start coding this. So we've got the preparation done. And what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to say is you matched with, like, let's say in this one, we're going to hard code it a little bit here just for demonstration. So we're going to say, let's have a P tag at the top, right? Let's have a P tag which says you matched with Ellen on some random date, right? So let's go ahead and say this. So you matched with Ellen on 10th of the 08, 20th or something like that, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this. So now if we bring up our app, Kazi, so we show R1. Right, so it says use state is not defined, so we actually need to go ahead and import that. So use state. Oh God.
Whoa, what the hell just happened there?
There you go. Oh, nice. Somebody gave us
another super chat.
You guys please give us a video for React Virtualized. I need a React Virtualized grid gallery. I've heard of React Virtualized. We can definitely have a look at it. And if it's something that a lot of people are interested in, we can definitely have a look at it and build something like that. Yeah, sure.
What is that?
I've used it. I think it's like some kind of list thing. So React Virtualized. What is it? React.
Efficiently rendering large lists and tabular data. I see. Oh, Retool uses it.
Way. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Okay.
I mean, Retool renders its list quite slow.
Yeah, it's super slow.
Yeah. Nice. So you match with Ellen on this day. Okay, so that's cool. Now what we could do is, so let's go ahead and just do. Okay, so it says you matched with Ellen. So if you go to our app, Kazi, so if we go to /chat/Ellen.
By the way, somebody said we should do some machine learning stuff on here. We should. That'd be sick. But oh, nice.
Yeah.
I see that you're pulling. You matched with Ellen. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Beautiful.
And I'll show you how we can actually grab it from the URL, right? So
Yeah.
we'll do that afterwards. We'll do that afterwards. I will do that at the end though. But we can say you match with Ellen on this date. And now what we're gonna do is we're
We're
actually
at
want to render out those messages.
29,000. We are only 1,000 away from 30,000 views.
No
1,000
way.
away from 30,000 views.
What the hell?
Guys,
Oh my
text
God.
your mom. Like, hey, jump on this. Text your brother. Like, literally get everybody on this. Let's break 30,000. That's never happened
Break
before.
8,000. That's
And just right now,
insane.
just smash that like button because that's just going to keep pushing it out. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, amazing. So now, guys, we're going to render out the messages, right? So we're going to say for every single message, so map through for each message, I want to render. Let's go ahead and say, I want to render out a div, because I'm just going to have a container around the message itself. So I'm going to say a div with a p tag. So oops, my emmet's not working. So deep with a p tag. Yep. And then I'm going to say that's going to basically just say like it's going to use the message dot message. So you see this one here. So it's looping through them, and then we're going to get that message, and I'm going to get it and say message dot message. Right. So now if I save this, we're freaking out here because we've got a unclosed. Unclosed here. There we go. So if I save that now. Nice,
Hold
right?
on. Wait, hold on. I wasn't talking about your code, but your code is awesome too. I was saying somebody just instant money all-star just donated $11 in super chat.
Oh,
And he says, y'all guys,
nice.
your guys and work is amazing. Trying to keep up, LOL. This is why I choose the computer science career. I could never be satisfied with just using web applications, not knowing how it was coded.
That's insane. Thank you so much, Instant Money All Star. This is why I chose the computer science. I can never be satisfied. Nice.
Yep.
That's insane.
This is why we show you guys how really all of this works behind the scenes and the logic behind it, you know, so then you can then build your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but thank you. Really love the support. And I think we're about to break. I think we broke probably $100 on the chat. So that's freaking amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right. Nice. Did we just break 30K?
No. 29,000 on views and $100 on chat revenue, which has never happened before. I mean, both of these are just freaking
Whoa.
crazy.
Dude, we started the chat with like, we were getting super pumped about nearly $5, and we're just about to hit $100. That's insane.
That is crazy. Thank you, guys. I mean, like, we love it anyway. Like, we would be doing this, but it's just so much more fun. Like, I don't know. Like, there's something about them. Alfonso, making you guys feel good is a major priority right now. You guys, love you guys so much. Thank you, Aluano. You're amazing.
Yeah.
All
Love
right.
that.
Yeah, this live stream will be here forever, guys. I know a lot of people keep asking that, but yeah, we leave all of our streams recorded here for all of you guys.
Yeah. So it will be here always. Okay, so at that point, what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and style this a little bit so it looks a little nicer than this. So right now we've got 3 messages and it says you match with Ellen. So we're getting there somewhat, but it's not like ideal, right? It's not what we want to get to as an end result. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the div, I'm going to give it a class name of, we got some nice new donations in. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we've got chat screen message. So we've got chat screen message, and you can see, yeah, so we're going to style that one there. And we've also got the, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start styling this one. So what we need to do is, in order to style it, we need to do our little neat tricks. We need to actually import a chat screen.css file. I'm going to do that and save it. And then I'm going to go here and actually go to chat screen.css. And this will pop in. Nice. And what we want to do now is actually go ahead and make it a little bit more nicer to look at. So I'm just going to pull up some codes. We got chat screen.css. So here now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the message itself should actually have. So right now we've got let's code it up so it actually looks a bit more like how we have it. So we have the avatar, then we have the message, and then we have that nice little bubble around it, right? So to get that little bubble next to it, the way we do it is we basically have it so that we
Oh,
need
the
to import
bubble.
the
When you say
avatar.
bubble, you're talking about this bubble here.
Yeah, it's that beautiful little looking message bubble. And immediately when you see that, it looks like a message, right?
Yeah.
So, and also the little avatar with Ellen on it, right? So we have the message. So we imported the avatar, and then what we're going to do is we need to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to basically pop this in here inside the message. So next to the message itself, I'm going to have the avatar, and I'm going to say that the class name is chat screen image, and I'm going to say the alternative thing is message.name. So it's going to be, if
Lenny
there is a
says,
name, it'll
I
say
can't believe I have been here for more than 3 hours and I'm learning every minute.
amazing.
Damn.
Nice.
That's great.
That's so amazing. Love that.
Giles says,
The fact,
I'm sorry, Sonny, but these are too good.
that's right.
Giles
Yep.
says, can't wait to enroll for the JavaScript course. I'll dedicate my next 2 months and want to create my own website. Yeah, whenever you're ready, that course will really take you up to the next level. Keep watching our
Yeah.
content here. But if you want to also get coaching with us, like in person on those Zoom calls and things like that, then yeah, the link is in the description, guys, for the Profit with JavaScript course. So check that out too.
Definitely.
And-
If you
and
guys
you'll
are
actually-
enjoying this, be sure to.
And they'll have calls with you, right, Sonny?
Yeah, you have calls with me. You have calls with Nas, Jacob. Like every week, we have weekly coaching calls. So you're pretty much going to get a chance to ask whatever questions you want and to really like dial in on those pain points that you're having when it comes to your development journey.
Yep.
Awesome. Nice. So now we've actually pulled in the avatar. Where it's saying use the message image if they have it, otherwise use the name. So now it actually pulls in the images. So we've got Ellen popping up. That's nice.
Nice.
Right.
From right here.
Exactly. So you can see
Image.
that's really cool, right?
Yep.
And then what we want to have is the actual. So right now, yeah. So let's go ahead and give that sort of bubble around it, because that bubble around it gives it a nice sort of feel to it, right?
So now let's
go
put
ahead and
the
say,
bubble.
yeah, so the bubble. So let's go ahead and say that this p tag has a class name of chat screen text, right? So it
Yeah.
has chat screen text. And now what I'm going to say is, let's go ahead and style it. And I'm going to say for chat screen, for chat screen underscore text. So for that, for that, what I'm going to say is we wanted to have because if you want to bring it up to the left, I love doing CSS when they can see it, like as it pops.
Yes.
Yeah. So here we can say margin left, right? So margin left, and then we can say margin left as 10 pixels. So as soon as I hit save, you'll see that this is going to pop some margin left.
Right there.
Right.
Okay.
But before we actually go ahead and carry on with that, what I'm actually going to do is, where we've got the chat screen itself, so not the chat screen, we need to actually go ahead and do chat screen input form. Okay, yeah. So what we need to go ahead and do is actually style it so that the how have I done it? I forgot. I've completely forgot for a sec. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so now we actually got the chat screen here, and what we want to do is we basically need it so that each of those things is going to be, so you see where it's got Ellen's picture, right? We want that to be next to the text, not underneath it, right? So the way we do that is we actually go ahead and target chat screen message, and here we go and say chat screen message, and we say display flex. So now if I do that, boom, it should go next to it. Nice. Now we know if they don't align on the vertical axis, we can say align item. Yeah.
Hey, I'm picking this up.
That's it, dude. There we go.
Nice.
And then we have that. And then we can also say, let's give it a padding of 20 pixels, right? So that way it has some space to itself and it's not like all scrumped up like
nice.
the way it is
There we
now.
go. We got that space. That's looking great.
Yeah. So it's already starting to look really clean, really nice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give the text a background color of gray, light gray. So there we go. So you
By the way, guys, here is the URL, so you guys can play with this a little bit. I'm popping this up here so you guys can pause it and go. But we're not gonna be
Yeah.
putting it in the description because YouTube took down our video last time for popping it in the description.
Yeah. They didn't like that.
And just for
To be
disclaimer,
honest.
this is not the real Tinder. Like, this is clone, fake. This is what we built for demoing. Jeez. I'm not about to get another strike on this channel.
Yeah, the YouTube gods. So we added a background color. And now, guys, this is the magic of front end, right? So let's go ahead and have both apps open side by side so that we can see it as we code the CSS.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, look how ugly that looks, right?
Oh wow,
But it's literally
that is not
two
nice.
lines of code. So by adding a padding of 15 pixels, yeah. So if I add the padding of 15 pixels, it goes ahead
Ooh, what?
and add a border
Just
radius.
with
a
padding, it already
yeah.
works.
Yeah, literally, it's crazy. And a border radius to 20 pixels, and boom.
Oh man, that is crazy that I got to actually see the magic behind how to make text look good, and that's so easy. That is so easy.
And it's crazy.
Wow.
Like, it literally just like blows your mind. It's like how small things can really make such a big difference. Like, crazy.
Damn, that is nice. I love that. Okay, great. And now what else
So
is
the
left?
next
This
thing-
needs to be centered. This needs to be lighter.
Yep.
And the blue
We
thing
also
needs
need
to
it
be
so-
here.
Yeah, so for the user's messages, it comes up on the right, so it's not a message like it is Ellen's, right?
Yep.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to give a class name to this one. So we're going to say class name. Class name is chat screen timestamp. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go back and say for the timestamp, we're going to do text align center. And that will pop it into the center. I'm going to give it a padding of 20 pixels and a color of gray.
Got it.
And look at this. Boom.
Wow. That is
Lovely
looking
to see it.
beautiful.
It like literally like slowly comes together, right?
So satisfying.
Yeah, really, really nice. Like, so that's awesome. We have that done, and now what we're gonna do is actually implement the logic, which will show us that if there is no name inside the message, so if it's one of our own messages, let's actually go ahead and make it look a bit different, so it pulls to the right as opposed to pulling to the left, right? So the way that we're going to do this, and it's a very sort of simple way that we're doing it, and obviously in production apps, like you can change this and it might be different depending on how you set your app up. But in our case, what we're going to do is we're going to say, if there is a name inside of the message, so if it says like if it has a name key, then it's a message from Ellen, right? But if there's no name, it's a message from us. So imagine this was the backend, so this was how our database was set up. That's how it would be passed through. So what we'd be doing is we'd be saying if message dot user, so the name, sorry, message dot name.
So just to like at a high level is basically like if it's not you, then it's gray, and if it is you, then it's blue, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay.
Exactly.
So we're basically gonna check like, hey, if it's the user who's currently typing, then blue.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Exactly that. So if it's your message, it comes up as blue, right? So it's saying if when we're iterating through it, if there is a name property, then it's going to be the then it will be a case of it's the user's message, as in it's Ellen's message. Think of it that way.
Right now
yeah?
we're just checking we're not checking based on IDs, right? We're just checking based on like name. So if the name is Sunny and okay, then it's okay.
So right now we're just checking if the name is passed in. So imagine we had three messages here. Yeah. Two of them had a name, right? So it was Ellen because we're speaking to her. But the one with us didn't have a name; it just had a message. Right. So the data structure was slightly different, and this could be different depending on how you set it up, right? As in like how you set your app up. We're just doing it as a demo to show you like this is one way, right? Yep. So now what we're doing is, so you see like for the message that it wasn't, so for the message that it was for us, you see like I got rid of the avatar. So it's already working, our logic is sort of working here. So now you can see the third message doesn't have an avatar. So it falls into this code bucket here, right? So now what we can do is we can actually go ahead and just apply a different. So instead of applying text, I'm going to say apply text user for that one, right? So this is the normal when it's sort of Ellen sends a message, but when we send the message back, it's text user. So now
Got
you
it.
can see it's basic because it's lost that styling, right?
Yeah.
So for text user, I'm going to apply the following. So I'm going to say, and we'll have this open on the side. So we'll say chat screen text user. So chat screen text user. Here I'm going to say, I'm going to give a margin left of auto. So this is the magic to making it push to the right. So let's have it open. Yes, so we do margin left auto.
Oh wow, it's
When I save
margin
this,
left auto. Interesting. Whoa.
because margin left is saying like you determine if you ever want to push something as far as it can go the opposite direction. If you want to push something right, do margin left auto. If you want to push something left, do margin right auto.
Interesting. So it's pushing it by this much until it's like all the way to the right.
Yeah.
Now,
And
what's
even if you
stopping it?
reset
What's
the screen-
stopping it from going all the way to here, like literally touching the edge? What's stopping that from happening?
So remember how every message has a padding of 20 pixels?
Uh-huh. Oh, I see.
So that's
that
why.
padding is kicking
Yeah.
in. Got it. And it's in every direction. Left, right, bottom,
Yeah.
top. Got it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it has that, right? So now what we're going to say is we actually want to go ahead and give it a background color of blue. So this is the blue I found from the TINDER designs. So we go ahead and do that. And remember, look, it looks horrible right now, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that padding and border radius. And it will suddenly look very nice. There we go. And then the color of the text should be white. So we could do that. And there you go. Like there we have it. So we actually have the message coming through on that side.
Nice.
So it automatically starts to look really nice, and that's from very simple rules in place right now.
Yep.
So that's that pretty much done. So the messages in that case are pretty much done in terms of the design. Now, before we do the input, so the input is on the bottom. So we can see the input is like the sort of bit where it says input field, type a message, etc. Before we get to that point, what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is if we go back now, so to the chat screen, it doesn't actually let us click through. Right, so it's not actually letting us click through, right? So you see it's not clicking through. So we need to actually quickly implement that bit. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. So if we go to the chat.js, so if I go to chat.js, now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to just, in order to get this working, all I need to do is wrap the entire row with a link.
Oh, nice. Link. Yep, right there. Oh, that's clean.
Yeah. And I just need to import link from React Router DOM. So if I go up here, boom, we do that. And what I'm saying is I'm saying link it to /chat/name.
Ah, nice. Okay, so it'll be Ellen.
Yeah, so it'll be Ellen, right? So in this case, it says unexpected token because I've got an error here. So if I can get rid of that, save it. And now if we click on Ellen.
Right there.
Yeah, so you see that? You see it, we click on Ellen, it works, right?
Look at how.
Can you see the styling looks horrible, right? So it automatically.
So we're going to remove the underline. Text decoration, right?
Exactly that. Exactly that. So now we're saying here, what we want to do is, I'm just going to apply a generic one. So I'm going to say for the anchors, so for all of them, apply a text decoration of none. And what this will do is, this will get rid of the underline, but the blue's still there, right?
Yep.
To get rid of the blue, you need to do color inherit.
Yep.
And that will fix that. And now you actually have that clickable functionality.
Oh, nice. So where is it inheriting the
so
color from? Oh, just the okay, got it. Like the whatever it was previously. Nice.
Yeah.
That is a very clean hack. So now it's a link, but it doesn't even look like a link. Got it.
Yeah. Awesome, right?
That's cool.
And then we actually have that working. So that's really nice. And all of the header stuff still works, which is really clean. Like everything still works and it's really nice, right? So, like you can see, we have a full functioning sort of app running through it. Like the messages, we have the UI done on the messages. All we need to do now is actually add the input box. We're not going to actually implement the sort of the pushing the messages in and stuff like that. We can if we get time, but what we can do for now is actually go ahead and do the input, which is the last part. So how do you send a message to Ellen, right? So let's go ahead and have a look. So Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually add that input box to the bottom of chat screen. So going back to
So
chat screen.
that thing right there, hold on. Is it actually even showing?
So I think you might need to resize your,
Yeah, because
it's
I
not
don't
showing
think,
at the bottom.
yeah. Holy crap, that is difficult to catch that.
So what
Hold
we
on,
could do
I
to
got a
get,
hack.
yeah,
There.
hey, there we go. So if
So
you just want
that's,
to pull that a little bit lower, there we go.
so this is what we're gonna be building right now, you guys. That thing right over here. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah. So
dope.
in order to get that built, guys, I'm going to first have a div. So I'm going to first say div, and then I'm going to have a form because I want to have
Uh-huh.
like a forms behavior. And then I'm going to have two things. I'm going to have an input field and I'm going to have a button. Right. So I'm going to have input field and I'm going to have a button.
Mm-hmm.
And the button's just going to say send. Right. So at a very basic level now, it looks ugly, but it's there. Right. So it
Hey,
says,
I can now chat with Ellen.
hey, exactly. So that is, we can start to get some kind of like sort of like hope to that, right? So we can say like now if I'm going to add a placeholder, so it says type a message. So now it should say type a message in there. Okay. So it's just the
Yeah.
styling now which needs to be fixed, right?
Yep.
So the first thing that we do in this case is we add some class names so we can reach everything in our CSS. So the first one I'm going to do is class name. I'm going to say equals chat screen input. Next, I'm going to say down here, the input here should be class name, class name, chat screen input field, right? So I'm going to add it here, input field. So this could be input container, this could be input, however you want to name it, it's completely fine. And also here, what you could do is you could do class name input button, okay? So now we've added the appropriate CSS to reach everything in inside of our CSS. So now what we're going to do is I need to go ahead and create the, oh no, I've got the chat screen.css. We're going to jump into chat screen.css and we are going to go ahead and grab the appropriate styling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually first say that I'm going to target that form. I'm going to target that form. So the form, this one right here, right? So what we could do here is we could actually say, I could actually move this. So I could move this from this outer container. I could actually just put it here. So I could say this, right? And I could actually maybe possibly get rid of this. So we just have a form instead, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just target that. So I'm going to save it and then go back. And we're going to say, now we're going to say, go to chat screen input. So that, and I'm going to say display flex. So it's already in a row, but we want to display flex because there's a reason why we're going to display flex in a second. So display flex, and then what I'm going to say is padding of 5 pixels because everything's too bunched up right now. We don't want it too bunched up. So you can see it gives it a bit more sort of padding there. Oh wait, no, have I done that right? Yeah, padding. Position, we want that to stick to the bottom. So I'm going to say position fixed. Position fixed, and I'm going to say bottom is 0. So this will stick to the bottom, guys, if you do position fixed bottom, right? So now you see that it sticks to that bottom, which is exactly what we want, right? And then I'm going to say width is 100%.
Nice.
So width is 100%. And you should see it. Okay, so width, we said width 100%, but it doesn't actually know like what to do just yet, right? And it'll make sense in a second. So border top, I'm gonna say, where have I gone? Border top is, yeah, border top. I'm gonna give it a border top of 1 pixel solid light gray. And at this point, we can't actually see much. Oh, yeah, we can. We can see that light gray that I added there, right? So why did I make it display flex if I'm not using justify content, if I'm not using any of that stuff? The reason why is because I want to use the flex one rule that we used earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say
Oh yeah,
the
and it's
input
just gonna
field.
expand the whole thing.
Yep, the input field should take up most of the room. So rather than doing any hard work here, boom, flex
Beautiful.
one, it works out everything for us, right? I'm
Yep.
also going to say that input field is too squashed right now. It needs to have a bit more padding. So I'm going to say 10 pixels padding, right? And there we go. Like we already get that nice little padding. And now we don't actually want a border around it. So we say border, none. And then we do that. And we can see, look at that. It's already getting like a super clean UI,
Nice.
right? And then the input button right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the following. So I'm going to say for the input button, I am going to go and say I want a no border. So border, none. I'm going to say a margin right of 20 pixels. So it's not touching the side. Then I'm going to go ahead and say I want a background color of white. So it blends in. I want the font weight to be bold. Oh, let's say bolder. So let's make it quite heavy. And then I'm going to say the color, and this is the Tinder color. So I'm going to say color should be the Tinder sort of pink, right? So boom. There you go. And just like that, guys, we get a super beautiful looking input field, right? Now, hooking that up in a lot of the tutorials, we've shown you guys how we actually hook those things up, and we sort of you can watch that and map that. But what we could do, I guess, Kazi, is we can actually kind of hook this up and push it into the message. I mean, should we give that a try and show how that works?
Yeah, like writing here and then sending a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I think that we can get that in quite nicely. So what
Got
I'll do
it.
is I'm going to create a const. So we need to keep track of the input and say set input. Say use state. So this is going to keep track of what you're typing inside the input field, right? So this right here. Then
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to say the input value is going to be equivalent to the input state. So the one that we just created. And then we're going to say on change. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, by the way, is it possible that we would be done in the next 15 minutes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Don't mean to rush you
Yeah.
though, so that's fine.
So we say set input of, and here we say set input e dot target dot
Yep.
value, right? So then now what happens is every time we type in the input field, it's going to update, and then what we do is we set the button type to submit because it's inside a form. But what we want to do is we do on click. So when we click that button, we're going to do a handle send function. So we're going to trigger a handle send function. So we need to write that function up here. So we say const handle send takes an event. So this is an arrow function, guys, and you need to do this line. You need to do e.prevent default. Otherwise, it's going to refresh when you press enter on your keyboard. You don't want that, right?
Yeah.
You do not want that to happen. So basically what we need to do at this point is very simple. We just need to say set messages to an array of whatever was currently inside of messages, as well as a new message with whatever you've typed inside of your input. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say set input, and I'm basically going to block out whatever input was. So I'm going to do this, and now this magic code right here would actually, if we've done it all correctly, should allow us to, so imagine like we refresh and stuff like that, and then so we get to this point again. So now if we type in and we say like nice, dude, try it out. Type in.
Whoa, nice.
Awesome, right?
Yeah, that is sick. How's it going, guys? Whoa. That is beautiful.
Really cool, right?
Hold on, my face is hiding
you
it,
get
but that is beautiful.
Nice. So that's clean, right? So that's just to show you guys like how simple it is to sort of like you can use that. You can use state and you can sort of implement it, and like you afterwards you can reset the state by using set input to blank, right? So that's actually a super clean way of showing you guys. And I think with that said, that's actually a really nice point where we can wrap up at that.
Beautiful.
Right, so like, well, I think we've actually covered most of the bases there. And guys, like, if you thought that was useful, please let us know in the comments now. Please smash the thumbs up button if you did find it useful. Like, I mean, Kazi, what's your thoughts on that so far? Like with that build?
Man, I think this was pretty freaking awesome. Like being able to just build this and watch it happen like live from start to finish. And I don't know if there are any other ones like this online. That is really,
Yeah.
really cool. And it's just amazing front end. We're using Firebase to actually connect to the data. Like this is being pulled from a database. So like you are
Yep.
learning that stuff too. The
Yeah. I
front end
think
is crisp.
actually, yeah. So front end's crisp. We use React Router. I think with the last like 5 minutes, what we could actually go ahead and do is show them how to deploy it.
Wow. Yeah, let's do that. Let's actually do that.
Yeah. So if we open up the terminal,
Lenny is pumped. He's like, wow. We have RD and Danny says 100% useful. And Bullen says, he goes, not useful. He goes, beyond useful.
hey.
That is amazing. But
When
guys,
you
it's
said
not
that, I was like,
over.
oh, yeah.
It's not over yet, guys. We're about to deploy this live. So if you are excited to see this live and then even to go and use this, let us know in the comments below.
Exactly. And guys, when we finally do this, like drop it live, we will share the URL. Guys, pick up your phone, shoot a story, tag us if you enjoyed it, and that would be an amazing way to like sort of end this with a bang, right?
Yep.
Like it'll be like all of this hard work and everything. It'll just end it with a nice crisp bang at the end of it. So
Yep.
let's go ahead
Now-
and
Cool.
yeah, we set it up actually. We did
Cool.
set up Firebase.
So we did already did that. So now it's just Firebase in it and all that beautiful stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna do Firebase in it.
Yep. And then what we need to do is, so Firebase init is your magic sort of keyword here, guys. You want to go down to hosting, press the space bar, and then enter.
That's it. Cool.
And then you'll get, it'll say
Use an existing project. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we got our Tinder clone right there. And then now here is the tricky part. But guys, make sure you say build. So BUILD. Just make sure you're in the right directory, which I am. And
Yep.
then this one here is going to be yes.
Yep.
Single page application. And then on the left hand side, a folder just got, oh, please don't tell me. No, I did it
No,
right.
we're good.
Yep. So there's
Yep.
this folder called build that just got created. Dope.
Exactly.
And now we're just going to
And
build
now-
and deploy.
Yep. So the magic command here is npm run build.
Okay, let's do that. npm run build. So now you guys are going to see this build folder that we have. All of that stuff is going to go in there. This is now ready to be deployed in just a little bit as soon as this command is done running.
Exactly.
Damn, are you guys
So all
pumped
of
or
the
what?
code gets, yeah, like let us know right now if you're pumped to see the app live. So all the work that we just did right now, you guys can play with that. You guys can mess around with it and see how it works and sort of test it on your own browsers and see if we were lying this whole time.
Yeah. It was just Photoshop the whole time, like everything, like even your code, just Photoshop.
Yeah.
Joystun says you guys are taking this live stream a level up. People are like, yeah, this is awesome. Muhammad says, wow, I'd be really eager for daily lives. Thank you. Okay, so it is it is not deployed yet. It is built. So now what do we do? Firebase deploy.
Boom. That's it.
Guys, if you're excited
Let's do
about
it,
this,
dude.
we're going to be doing this right now. It's going to be 5, 4. Do the countdown with us in the chat, guys. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Here we go. We're going to hit enter. Hopefully it crashes
so fast
epically.
as well, how it does it.
Yeah. This is like magic.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Just
94%.
like that, it's done.
Woo.
Damn it, guys.
Here we go.
Go ahead and drop that in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and drop
No,
that
no,
in
no.
the
Please
description.
don't put it in the
No,
description. We're going to get banned.
Not in the description, sorry. I dropped it in the in one of the comments. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, guys, this is actually the live version. Look, it's the one that's actually hosted online. If you guys see the URL here, you can kind of like try to go and use it. It's designed to be responsive on mobile, so make sure you like make your screen small. But I'm showing you the URL, so you can just pause and go to this. But yeah, guys, check it out. It's connected to a real database. So as I'm doing all of this, boom, click on Ellen.
Awesome.
Right there. I can go to the home screen. Guys, how
That's it.
freaking awesome is this?
That's it, guys. And if you enjoyed that, smash the thumbs up because I love it when we deploy it and everyone gets pumped and they can see it. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Elizabeth is like, Firebase is sick. Priyan says, I would love live streams every day. Lenny says, the real goats. Mario says, click. Awesome, you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys got value out of this. We just broke 30,000 views. 30,000
Oh,
views, you guys. Let's freaking go.
damn.
That's what
That's
we're talking
insane,
about.
dude.
Yep.
Guys,
Thank
if
you.
you did enjoy this and you did like find it valuable, remember like not only are doing these lives every day for you guys, and you guys can come and check them out for completely free. But if you do want to do like one-on-one sort of like sessions with us or like sort of get involved and take your JavaScript to the next level, check out the course. It's in the description. And you guys can actually go ahead and like join it 30 days free, and you guys can come in and see and just take the whole experience that step further, right?
This,
And Kazi, what are they gonna get with this?
this is the course, you guys, Profit with JavaScript. And this course is like, I mean, if you found this training valuable, then basically take that and just put it on steroids. So, of course, you guys are going to get the training modules, and I think that's important. But some of the things that are the most important is we actually show you how to make a killing with these skills. So literally,
Yep.
how can you take the skills that you're learning today? And it's great to be putting all these clones on your portfolio, but where can you go to apply for these jobs and actually land these jobs today? How can you apply on platforms like Upwork or freelancer.com to get freelancing jobs as well? So that's a really key thing.
Exactly. We have weekly coaching calls, guys. So that's including with me, that's including with Nas, with Jacob, and that's pretty much a case of like 4 times a week. You're gonna have live coaching calls, and we even
With,
have
here's Nas and
success
here's
coaches.
Sunny.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna have us two guys in there, and you're gonna pretty much have
You're
us like
building you're
in a
building
Slack
projects
community,
every
guys.
week.
Yeah, every single week we're building something new, and like that's a chance for you. And it's guys, it's not just like a live stream. You're in a Zoom call, so like you can literally go ahead and just chat with us, and literally just like call me up and literally say like, hey, Sonny, I'm stuck on something, and we can jump on a call. That's
Yeah,
literally
I mean,
the
we
sort of
we go
level.
pretty intense in this program. Like literally yesterday in Profitable Shortcut Coaching Program, and you can see this, Sunny, right? You can see the
Yeah.
all the students on here. But like literally, we were
Yep.
actually making ads on Craigslist for getting this person a job, and I even helped them write the copy.
Awesome. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, and here we have
Love that.
1,300 students in Profit with JavaScript. So if I actually go to the people section, you guys can see the community is like absolutely just insane, you guys, and it just goes on forever.
Yo,
So,
Nas just jumped in the comments. Hey.
oh yeah,
Nice.
that is awesome. Yeah, guys, Nas is actually going to be one of the coaches as well. So guys, if this is exciting for you, we've put this together at literally a fraction of the price of what a coding bootcamp will charge you. So we want to make it extremely something that's affordable and something that will help you also crush it. So guys, go ahead, check this program out. You have nothing to lose. And, you know, of course, students are getting crazy results. You can kind of go and check out those results. Like one of our students landed a $110,000 contract. So
Yeah.
crazy stuff. But guys, check out, click the link in the description below. If you found this valuable, at the very least, just check out this page and see if this is for you. But if it is, jump in the program, and we would love to get on those live coaching calls with you and help you land your dream job as a software developer.
100%. 100%. And guys, 30-day money back guarantee. So literally, if you can try this out for 29 days, 59th minute of the last hour, you can pretty much get your money back if you're not happy with it. So there's literally no risk. If you found this useful, definitely give it a try.
Nothing to lose, guys. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Is there anything else, Sunny, that we need to drop in here?
I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone watching. It was an amazing stream, and we can't like stress how amazing you guys are.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. So guys, absolutely loved it. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And guys, as always, this is Kazi.
This is Sunny.
And we will see
you in the next one.
Peace.